If I can actually get a smooth start to a show, it would be a miracle. Good morning, you guys. Good morning, YouTube. It's me, the artisan MC, up late but awake. Like, share, subscribe. Support stream if you feel so inclined, and you have now embarked on the hero's journey. And I did that all out of order, but like I said, I just woke up. So forgive me for that. It was a late night. I finished. I'm completely caught up on Invincible and Cross. There's another show I was supposed to watch. Oh, I even watched Daredevil Born Again. So I'm completely caught up on all the shows. That's why I was up late. Wasn't up fucking around. I was up working for you guys so I can talk intelligently about what I have actually seen and not what I heard about. Clear distinction. So, thank you for showing up on time today. I know my folks on the East Coast, it's already later in the day, so you're not even worried about it. But on the West Coast, it's still 9 o'clock. What up, Herb? What's good to my Scorpio brother right there? First thing I want to say is not to start the show on a downer, but shout out to my supervisor at work. Herb ain't caught up on nothing. Fucking Scorpio. You procrastinating. I was procrastinating. And then I didn't have it clear in my head. So I had to go back and just watch it all. I had to analog that shit. I mean, force it in there, start to finish. So I make sure I have it all together. So on Cross, I got things to say. On Invincible, I got things to say. On Daredevil Born Again Season 2, I have something to say. Something. Look at Herb. You getting love from trust. She said, Herb. So the first thing I want to say was condolences to my my supervisor. At this point, he's actually my ex-supervisor because I don't fall under him anymore. That sounds gross. He's not directly in charge of me anymore. My facility director is, but I built up a relationship with my supervisor, learned a lot about him, his family, his kids. He's a decent dude. I didn't like him when I first got there. I really didn't. I wasn't sure about him. I can say that confidently. I wasn't sure about him. But I kind of found my way with him and then discovered his birthday is the same day as my mother's. So then once I understood he was a Gemini, it completely freaking clicked. Now I get him completely, right? But I missed something yesterday. I missed a read yesterday. Or not yesterday, Friday. And he was a little reserved and some other stuff. And we were in his office with other tech, my little Irish guy who used to be my trainer there, who has a different position as well. And we were in there talking and, giving him shit or whatnot. And it came out what he was doing at work and why he was a little frustrated. His mother had passed away. He had found out his mother had passed away that morning. His mother had passed the night before, that night. So he was ignoring a phone call from his wife, and she called one phone. We saw her pop up on the other one. And I'm making a joke about the fact that he was late getting somewhere the day before that, Thursday night, because we were working late and I called him for assistance. And he had to tell her, he was there to help me out. I said, don't tell her it was me, because somehow it ends up the last 2 times that he has been late somewhere, it's helping me. I know her. She's a nice lady. They have a good family, but I don't like to keep people from doing things with their family. I really don't. And by family in this instance, I mean young children. Kids are important. And I know in my own life, my mother traded work over her kids too many times. So in my life, I never try to trade work over my children. I'll make concessions, right? Well, maybe it's not all day. Maybe I'm only doing 4 hours today, but then right after that, it's right back to y'all. I'm right back to y'all, right? That was my family that I chose over the one I actually built and responsible for. I don't make concessions. So when I see guys at work since I've been here, a lot of guys are starting families or just having their kids. And their kids are really young. That's why I work so much OT and stuff like that. My kids are grown. My kids are grown. I am not married. There is no reason for me to rush home and sit my ass on the couch or drink or whatever, normal fucking people do with free time. When I know this guy at work, he has a young child, he might have a pregnant wife, not a girlfriend, a wife. Hell, man, go home to your family. I'll cover it. I'll cover it. You don't really need to be here for this shit. Do you really want to be at home getting woken up? 2 in the morning for a fucking possum in the backyard? No. Man, take your ass home, be with your family. So I'll make concessions like that all the time. And that's what I did. So I make that same concession to my supervisor. If I know it's Tuesday and Thursdays, I know it's fucking scheduled, dude. I know daughter got scouts and some other things, and he got to pick up the kids over here. Man. Go, Buster. Go. I got it. I don't try to hold him up. So last Thursday, something was hanging me up at work. It's fucking gas line. He was there. He was held up for going to where he had to go. I was held up from going where I had to go, which was to, pool league in Lumpia. That's why I was late. So here it is, Friday. She's calling him again after I just got his ass in trouble yesterday night. Here it is in the morning. She's calling him, and she called on the first phone. He didn't answer. Now, me and Corey are both standing right there, like, uh-oh. Wife's calling. You better get that. He didn't pick up the phone. Then she called on his personal phone, because all of us nowadays usually have 2 damn phones sitting there. Not because we got the plug, just because, we got our personal phone, we got our work phone, and both of them bitches be going off all day. All right. She called on the other phone. I don't know which was which one she called on first, but she called on both of them. I was like, oh shit, you better pick that up. She didn't call on both phones. It's important. And right in the middle of the conversation, he tells us, I know what that's about. My mother passed away last night. We like, what the fuck? Why are you here? He said, I don't want to think about it right now. I'm just trying to do this. I'm like, holy shit. This motherfucker is sitting there at work dealing with grown ass men acting like children. All the problems that come with our regular workday in the office. He has told no one that his mother passed, and he still came to work and is running the ship. He didn't want no condolences. He didn't want shit. He's just trying to focus on this and get this done. Now, just a moment or so before, Corey, the Irish Boston dude, who was my trainer, me and Corey are cool as shit. We got a love for taking pictures and golden moments, and we both worked in the trade, so we really talk, right? So when I just came in the office, Corey and Buster were standing there talking, and I came in there pissed off. I came in there pissed because of how much stuff I had to do all at the same time, and certain things were not working. I'm irritated. And Corey was like, "Oh, what the hell? You want a hug, Artisan?" I said, "Hell no, I don't want no hug. I don't like being touched." Like I was real blunt about it that kind of way. Well, a moment after that, we in there and we find out that that's what's going on with Buster at that moment. While we're sitting there arguing about this goddamn um, pipe sealant. Is it a sealant or is it a lubricant? Does it really close the pipe or does it not? I'm giving him a little bit of shit. That comes out because his phone rings and he tells us that that's what it is. And we're like, holy shit, man. The hell are you doing here? Go home. I said, no, I'm going to do this right now. I don't want to think about that right now. I want to focus on this. And I told him, he said, you definitely need a hug. He's sitting down in his chair. He said, no, I don't need a hug. Me and Corey both just group hugged his ass and he damn near broke. I'm serious. He damn near broke. He broke a little bit crying. From that point on in the day after we finished, because I told him, man, fuck all this little shit I'm talking about. So what's going on? Let's get back to this other stuff, because since you don't want to process this right now, let's get back to this other shit. So look, you coming to do this inspection with me or whatever? I immediately try to change the mood through the bullshit I was giving him out the window and just start trying to joke with him or whatever. And he just sat back for a moment. It just was tears in his eyes and stuff starting to come down. He's trying to lock that shit back up. Just like, you fucking guys. Man, it was a human moment. It was a human moment, understanding how working men, process grief. You compartmentalize it. You push it to the back. You do a lot of stuff in your head so you can go on with the day to do all the shit that people expect of you of your day. You still do your job. But the grieving over your parent, the woman's vagina you popped out of, your children's grandmother passing the night before, you push that to the back of your mind just so you can go through this 8 hours with these dumb fucks here at work. After that conversation, I left his office. Corey left his office. He went outside and called his damn wife. He outside walking around, and I'm sitting there looking at him and thinking, he ain't told nobody else in the office this. Nobody else in the office knows what the fuck is going on. He's not doing it like a female, which is he's going to make a scene and everybody needs to come and comfort them or no bullshit like that. No, he ain't said shit to nobody. He outside having a conversation on his phone with his wife. And then he goes and talks to our operations director for a while. Now, nobody else know why he was up there. I think I got a pretty good idea why the fuck he was up there. Letting them know I'm probably going to have to take some time off. That was a perspective shifting day after that point, because it meant all the rest of the shit that I was concerned about was kind of minor to something he was really going through. And I wasn't bringing him shit else that day. There was nothing else that I needed to bring him on that day when I'm pretty sure he was emotionally full. If anything, I just tried to make things a little bit easier on him. What you need me to do. I ended up having to call him about 4:00, and then it was the same thing as the night before, where it was about a 4:00 call, and we still fucking with this goddamn gas line in this house that keeps leaking. I didn't want to bother you. I know you was talking to such and such, whatever. He's like, it's fine. Just go on and do what you got to do. So, all right, man. So when we left that day, I didn't tell him have a good weekend. I didn't. What I did do, I told him bye, see you on Monday, and then I texted him, I'm praying for strength for you, many blessings, and condolences to your family. Because I know what he's going to have to deal with this weekend. He's going to be dealing with his father, the death of his mother, his wife, his 3 kids. He's going to be dealing with all of that shit this weekend. It's a beautiful fucking weekend. He ain't going to be enjoying it any. It's a beautiful sunny day in California right now. He is not going to be able to enjoy that shit at all. And it just brought things to perspective in the sense that Your bullshit is minor. You never know what people are going through. Never. You never really know what people are going through unless you talk to them and ask them. Now, in that situation, we didn't ask directly because I missed it. I missed that he was actually carrying some weight. I should have felt it on him. I felt a little bit of like frustration, but I didn't put it together because I was wrapped up in my own bullshit. And I should have picked up on that. I felt bad that I didn't pick up on that earlier. I just sat across from this motherfucker at a morning meeting. I sense frustration, a calmness. I don't have anything. But I was missing the signs. I was missing the signs. And I feel bad that I was missing the signs because I was not being there as a friend for him. Mind you, this motherfucker has come and given me a jump before. I got off work, I drove to the movies. I had the top open on the toaster oven, or on the toaster. I'm sitting there in the car doing a video with you guys. I closed down the video with you guys. My car won't start. And the top is open, and I'm in the parking lot on a sunny day in movie theaters. Only person I know in this area is him. He lives close because I've dropped him off at home before. I call him. He comes out and gives me a fucking jump. It's after 5 o'clock. I'm not no work vehicle. But he came and gave me a jump. Closed my car up and went to goddamn movies. He is a solid dude. He is a nice dude. He is goofy as shit when he's with his children. I see glimpses of it at work at times where he is just a good-hearted fucking dude. You wouldn't think that to look at him, but he is a good-hearted dude. And the way he is when you see those other glimpses, that other side of that Gemini, dude, he got to be fun as hell for his kids. He got to be more fun with his kids than you could ever imagine. So it is a switch to get to see the other side of him that's at work, and then that kid side of him that comes out when it's animals or some shit like that. Something he's going to get for his kids. I gave that motherfucker a kite. I had my car for over a year. Over a year. I bought this kite because I was going to give it to my friend that worked in inventory for her young kids, the one that had the little black boy, little mixed boy, right? Got on my nerves with some bullshit that she pulled, and I had to back off. I can't be talking to you, right? I had that thing in my car for a year. I finally, when I'm getting rid of the toaster, I know I'm getting rid of it, so I'm cleaning it out. I took that kite in there and gave it to him. He was excited. I took it in there for his fucking kids. That motherfucker was excited about it. I'm like, you know what? You can have it. Just try to share it with the kids, okay? Just fly it with the kids. He was excited. I'm like, look at this fucking dude. Look at this fucking dude. He has to be fun as a parent. He got to be fun as a parent. Animal shit like that, like he's a cool dude. And over the 4 years I've been there, he has grown on me to be somebody that I would call a friend because he has helped me out in more than one situations. And secretly behind the scenes, he always goes to bat for me. Always. So now, in my pseudo management position, this is like my peer now. He's not my direct boss anymore. He keeps letting me know that shit too. He keeps dropping it in there. I'm not your boss though. But it's jokingly, like he's fine. Like we can have a different conversation now. Because he's not my supervisor. So I felt bad. And so I wanted to take this time to speak to that, to acknowledge that. I miss being there. I almost missed being there for him, showing him some respect that as a friend I was missing. I was missing something. And that bothers me in a sense because being the type of person that's hyper vigilant of everything around you, that's why I don't get surprised a lot. It's a disposition. I missed that sign of what was going on with him. And I feel bad because I feel as a friend, I should have caught it. I should have caught it early. I'm usually really good about that shit, reading people's energy and reading their body language and stuff. And I can sit there and tell them, like, what's going on with you today? I notice it. Oh, what do you mean? I said, I'm fine. No, you're not. Don't lie to me. Lie to yourself. Don't lie to me. You can't. Yeah, I'm just. And they'll start telling me what the hell is going on. I missed it. And I feel bad that I missed it. Because the shit I was in there giving him crap about because I was irritated and he was tolerating that shit. I feel so fucking bad for even bringing that shit up. It was not important. It was not major. It was nothing. It was absolutely fucking nothing compared to what the hell he was actually dealing with and processing through at that time. I felt like shit for even bringing it up. So, tomorrow, possibly, he will be at work. Or he will not. And then everybody at work, the rest of the fucking crew will be up there. Oh, what's going on with him? You know, where's he gone and shit like that. And our facility director will have to tell them, oh, yeah, he's not going to be here because he's dealing with a personal matter. And they'll be speculating, and one of his parents dying won't be what they speculating on. Fucking. So, shout out to Buster, man. Condolences to you and your family. And I'm still sending prayers up for you and your family. Because that's some rough shit for a Friday. For a Friday? End of the week, the release week? Mm-mm. And still to sit there and listen and deal with all that petty bullshit we was dealing with Friday. All that petty shit. And still deal with it. Bro, there are a few times in my life that I've been at work and absolutely knew I might have been dealing with something personal to me, but there was at least one time I knew I could not be at work. I had to leave because my brain was not on work at all. I could not block it out what I was dealing with, and I would have ended up getting killed at work if I hadn't left. And I was working on Van Ness. I was working construction. We were working on about 4 stories at this point building, and I'm building scaffolding or deck for the next level for the 5th floor near the edge of the building. And this is when I had found out in processing the wife cheating on me situation and shit. I could not be up there standing on that scaffolding at the edge of this building up 5 floors, thinking about diving off this bitch on my fucking head and not on my foot placement, on my balance and shit like that, and making sure I tie off. I couldn't be up there. My brain was everywhere else but where I was at that moment. And I realized, and like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna die at work today. I'm gonna die because I'm not paying attention. Not because I'm suicidal, because I'm not fucking paying attention. And when you up 4 floors putting out scaffolding planks and stuff like that so you can walk across and build this scaffold up higher, you need to be fucking paying attention. You could fall through, you could misstep, you could not have your balance, drop tools, hit somebody else on the street. No, I had to fucking leave. I had to leave. I went to my foreman and said, man, I got some shit going on, man. I'm not right for today. What's going on? I said, man, I told him a little bit because it's all working dudes. So we all deal with the same shit. It's a bunch of dudes divorced, bunch of shit going on at home. He understood. I packed my tools up and I left that fucking job site by 10 a.m. I'm walking down the street in San Francisco with everybody going to work and stuff like that. Just like, I can't shake this shit off. I cannot shake it off. I couldn't be at work that day. Understanding that about myself made me empathize with Buster a hell of a lot. He needs to be gone. He didn't need to be there hearing that shit, but he was there dealing with it. And I'm like, fuck. I was supposed to see my mother yesterday. And I had to think about it for a second. What if you called that person and they didn't answer? Would you be as comfortable with your last conversation with them? Would whatever petty shit you was dealing with matter? It was sobering, to say the least. Sobering. So what I did and do nowadays when I'm dealing with, people passing and stuff like that, especially people close by, I go live some life. I go enjoy the things that they cannot at this moment because life is for the living, and appreciate the fact that you are still here. Outside of religious belief that everything happens after you drop dead, in the meantime, no, I'm still here. And for the people who didn't live to see this day, I will enjoy it to the fullest I can. It was a beautiful fucking day yesterday. Beautiful fucking day. Sun is high. It's not too hot, but it's warm enough. You can wear shorts and a t-shirt and get around. People out doing things, yard sales, birthday parties, all kind of shit happening. He does not get to appreciate that today because his mother passed. His mother does not get to appreciate that today because she passed. A lot of fucking, I don't know if y'all keeping track, but a lot of death and dying happening in the last couple of weeks. A lot. Not just celebrities. Personal. Close to me, and I pay attention to that kind of shit. That's a lot. If he's at work tomorrow, I'll be surprised. And because my seat is right in front of him at the conference table in the morning, I will be studying his fucking face like it's a Rembrandt to make sure I don't miss anything else. The only thing I may be able to do is give a kind word, but that's still doing something. It's just rough. Just rough. So shout out to Bus and his family, man. The man needs to know his limitations and he doesn't want the liability in the time of distress. Yeah, I didn't want to be a liability, and I was. Buster could do his job without being a liability, I think, because it was just managerial stuff, but it's still tough to try to put that shit aside and just focus on what's in front of you when you know this is happening in the back. You still have to plan all this stuff on the back end. And his father's still alive too. So yeah, Rough situation, man. Rough situation. So, not to start the show on a downer, but yeah, there's nowhere else to go but up from there. Um, it is what the hell it is. Life is always happening. This is the journey that we are on. And you can ignore it or you can pay some goddamn attention to it.
All right, I'm going to make this nice and easy.
But life is always happening. So, shout out to Buster. The AB say there's nothing like looking at a parent in a casket and knowing you'll never see them again. I know because I lost both parents. I know, AB. I know that hit you. I know it hits Herb in here. Herb lost his mom a while ago. Not that many years ago, probably about 4 at this point. Like I've told people before, there are people in the space that I know have had some serious shit like that happen to them. Close. And how that changes you a little bit is, I wouldn't say interesting. That's not the word I would want to use. But I understand that certain events in people's lives can only change them. Only. You relate to things differently. Just saying. So I know you can feel that with him. And that's what he's going to have to go through. So 2017 still hurts my heart to this day. Yeah, I know, Herb. I know. I'm sorry for bringing it up because you didn't mention it in the chat, but it's people helping people time right now. Right? So, yeah, it's rough. And both of y'all, AB and Joe, you know you have my condolences. Look, JT up in here. What's up, JT? Both of you guys have my condolences. And at least for AB, and for a bit about Herb too, I only know these women through their offspring, which is you. I know them through you. And the type of men that you are reflects greatly on her. I'm pretty good about picking things apart and trying to figure out what part comes from what parent, what input they had. Y'all some decent dudes. You are. And I credit some of that to your mothers. I do. So I appreciate her by knowing what she produced, her good works, which is what is in the two of you. So appreciative for that tutelage that you guys had in your life. Yeah, I'm a bit sad it was gone early for both of you. It sucks. Look, Techie in here buried my father back in 2011, still haunt my memory. I believe you. Condolences. I'm like at 2005, 2006, lost both my grandparents 11 months apart. Yeah, you know what they say, between your elder parents like that, your grandparents, when one goes, the other one doesn't last a year. That's what the statistics are. They'll probably go a year later. That whoever goes first, the other one is probably going in the next year. Fucked up statistics, but statistics are there because some people track shit like that happening. And that's what they come up with. It's not morbid, it's just understanding life and the processes. AB Sage. 2000 for his father, 2013 for his mother. It's not something you get over, it's something you learn to live with. And that's the key line there, her AB. It's something you learn to live with. For me, with the health problems my father has been having, my mother is in relative good health. My grandmother is in relative good health last time I saw her. It's something that I'm learning to try to prepare for. And maybe that's why I'm feeling a little bit more sensitive to what was going on with Buster. But it's something I'm learning I need to prepare for. So, with that, I don't have not drinking any alcohol today because I was drinking yesterday, and I did drink a shot to my two cousins and Buster's mother yesterday while I was sitting down watching Cross. Today I'm drinking orange juice with nothing in it. So, condolences to all of you who have lost your parents early. And for those of us who have yet to. And give us strength to get through the journey. Yeah, so didn't want to drag the whole show down for that, but real shit. Not all the studio. So thank you, brother, for coming through today. That's the no, it's not the show. I'm going to give you 30 seconds of some little transition so we can shake that off for a hot second and get to this other stuff, and then I'll get into the rest of the show. Give me a minute. Here at Real Shit Central, thought I had some other notes for today. I don't see them. Yeah, I don't see them. I see my grocery list, but no notes. So I guess I got to do it off the dome. It's okay. I got a big head. I can do that. Yeah, I know Malika. Yeah. Anyway, so you guys tell me what you want to hear about first. One is I want to talk about was this whole um, 90s tomboy or the 90s fit. And I'll just get into this because this will lighten it up a lot quicker than talking about the shows. I'll get to talking about Cross and Invincible and Daredevil Born Again season 2 real quick. Um, like I said, Cross, because Malika want to talk about Cross. Let's talk about this first, just to lighten it up, Malika, and then we can talk about Cross after that. Because I know most of y'all black folks ain't watching that show. So let's share the screen. And it's a window. So I did a stream yesterday about why 90s tomboys were better than today's tomboys. Tomboys is probably the wrong word to use, but what sparked that thought was a video I saw on Instagram. So I have the video, and I got to give him credit. What is this brother's name? Hope he doesn't mind that I used it. I'm just using it as, excuse me, a springboard to the conversation I want to have about it. But what is this dude's name? Terry Darren on Instagram. He did this video, and I'm just going to play it for you guys right now. It's about 3 minutes, so you can see what I'm talking about. And watching this video spurred me on to a thought, a nostalgic thought about how cool women of this time were. And it got me to thinking about the archetypes of the females of this time. And the first one that came to mind was Aaliyah. And I spent the day yesterday listening to Aaliyah all day. I had a conversation with Trust about this shit because she likes old R&B and stuff like that. And it really spurred some other ideas. So that's why I did the live stream to see what you guys were thinking about. If you understood or you saw what I was seeing, that one of the things women today don't have a lot of modesty. It's not. But it's something about more so about having a personality where you get more modest. If you don't have a strong personality, it's more of that other shit that you see nowadays. Is what I came up with after riding around yesterday, running my errands and doing my thought process and doing a stream. That's what I came up with. So this is the video that sparked it. I'm gonna play this brother's video right now because I didn't make it, but you tell me if you feel what he's talking about.
All right, I'm gonna make this nice and easy because when
Can you guys hear that? Because Beastly is in here saying no sound, but he's the only one who said that shit. You got no sound. Hold on a second. Let's see. Got no sound. Okay, let's try it again. Let's try it again. It's fucking YouTube after all. Yeah, the sound was also shares system audio. Fucking stupid, dude. I don't know why. Let's just get through this part. Let's just get through it. Okay. Take two.
All right, I'm gonna make this nice and easy. Because when the fellas talk about how back in the day was sweet.
Can you hear it now? Give me a one if you can hear it now. Earlobe emoji, something. I know y'all got a little bit of a delay. So, whole chance waiting 30 seconds. Beastly can hear it. Okay, we rolling.
This is what we talking about right here. This fine shit right here, all right? Look at the Timbs. Look at the dungarees. You understand? The baggy dungarees. Look at the polo. Look how she's standing on some b-boy shit. This was the face card tomboy. And this girl was breaking all the hearts back in the day. Look at the hairstyle. See, back in the day, all we had to judge on was from hair to hair. All right? Face and personality. That's all it's. Y'all had niggas in a chokehold back in the day when y'all used to dress like convicts with baggy clothes. Y'all had us in a choke. Men was more in love with this than the fine shit today with the spandex and the Uggs that lean to the side. You know what I'm saying? Real hair, real hairstyles. Y'all probably smelled like Tommy Girl or Love Spell or one of them things. All right? And y'all was breaking niggas' hearts back in these days. You know what I'm saying? Look at the bamboo earrings. Let me tell you, this girl had niggas bringing her flowers on Valentine's Day, candy, chocolates. Yeah, calling the house. How you doing, Mrs. Johnson? Can I speak to Keisha? With manners. You know what I'm saying? The courtship for y'all back in the day was so much more rich because y'all had mystery. Okay? It wasn't ass, titties every day. And guess what? When you finally got her to decide, I'm going to give this one my virginity, and she backed out them baggy ass dungarees, and that ass was fat. Oh my God. Niggas came to school the next day like, yo, bro, I'm in love. I'm in love. Here's the catch. The coochie might have been a little hairy. Y'all wasn't shaving it all the way. Y'all wasn't even doing the landing strip back in these days. Coochie might have been a little hairy. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay, because that's just the time. You know what I'm saying? But y'all had mystery. This is before the days where every average woman body was exposed all over social media. You know what I'm saying? When y'all backed out them baggy ass dungarees, oh my God, it was a rich surprise. You know what I'm saying? But ladies, I just want to say, we loved y'all then, and we love y'all now. Y'all was fine shit then, and y'all fine shit now. But that mystery, you know, we miss that mystery. We miss that little extra surprise at the end. You know what I'm saying? You can't even necessarily call this a tomboy style, because this is just how most girls dressed in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to all the tomboys, because y'all grew up to be some fine shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? And we just miss these. Look at the beads. Every Caribbean, I don't know where she from, but every Caribbean or Hispanic family had the beads. Y'all remember that? This was the days. Shout out to all black women everywhere, north, south, east to west. We love y'all. But this, good time.
Shout out to that brother, Terry Darren, on Instagram. Check him out. Give him a follow. Because if he's making insights like that, I would support it and watch it again. Like what Techie said, a woman wearing actual pants. Yeah. Trust length. It's all good now. So what y'all think? I mean, I know some of you guys are about my same age, and some of you are a little younger, so we got a good block of time where you would have seen some of this, been a part of some of this. What do y'all thought? That spurred my whole thought process yesterday on really thinking where are women like that now and how simple it could be to catch my attention with someone dressing just simple like that. And then I shared pictures or visual IQs with you about things that caught my eye about people I knew. And it wasn't because the ass was out all over the place. Was it? Akoteki said, no lies told here. No, I don't think so. But I also don't think women like that exist now. I don't necessarily see it, but then again, I'm not 20 years old. Plastic on the furniture with the glass fruit and the living room table. Yeah, plastic fruit. If you're not supposed to mess with, but it's sitting up there dusty. Fucking grapes. Squishy grapes that was only good for squirting water out of them. Curious kid. That made me nostalgic for days like that. That's why I got down to listening to Aaliyah a lot yesterday. And it's not that I never listened to Aaliyah, but I'm not always in. I equate music like that with being in kind of a lovey mood. I'm not always in no goddamn lovey mood. I'm just not. I'm usually dealing with. Come back, you stupid. Wrong one. There we go. That's who we're talking about. And what brought me back to her was because she was pretty much the archetype of this time. And look at her. She just got a regular fucking face. But she looks gorgeous. Simple shit. Not that. Let's do images. It's not like nobody knows who the fuck Aaliyah is, right? That kind of shit. This is the thing I was pointing out about her. And when I think it was Malika yesterday when we were doing artisanmc stream talking about it. She's not a big woman. She's not big. She's pretty thin. And she ain't got no big rack of ribs sitting up there either. She just got normal, B cups. But this is sexy. Not because she got her whole ass hanging out. But it's attitude, it's personality. You're looking at all these pictures. Where's the picture with that you see modern women now that she damn near butt ass naked? Shit like that. You barely seeing her body. But Akasha shit had me wanting to get bit by a vampire. Cleaning the damn shit. Yeah. Bite me. Let's do that. Let's do that one. Where are these women nowadays? Baggy pants, boxer shorts, and lipstick. Where are they? The point I was making, they still wanted to be women. That's what the biggest difference is I see about tomboys then and tomboys now. Tomboys then still wanted to be women. They just like boy shit. Stereotypically. The ones I see nowadays just want to be boys and don't want to be women, which makes no sense to me. And at least in my view, with all this modernism shit, we losing a lot. We are losing a hell of a lot. Damn. Oof. There you go. Actually, love that picture there. I'm going to save that one. That one's going to be a screensaver for y'all. Saved. That's going to be a screensaver. Come up on my laptop when it's just sitting idle. Where are these folks? Do you think if Aaliyah was still alive today, she'd be on OnlyFans? I could take you said at this point, old school tomboys might as well be at the Smithsonian. A lot of stuff from the 90s might as well be at the Smithsonian now. Because you would think the 90s ever existed the way they shut it down. For me, that was one of the most creative decades in Black culture. Style-wise, fashion-wise, music-wise. A lot was done and a lot was forgotten. Sold wholesale or whatever. Oh, here we go. That's a better one. There you go. What do you see? Tim's, dungarees. She don't have a polo shirt on, but she got the midriff showing. It's not a big chick. But you don't get the vibe that she being a whole bitch either. You don't get the vibe that she looks unapproachable. Unless you just intimidated because she's attractive, which you shouldn't be. As a man, if she's attractive, that should be the first person you might want to talk to. What, you'd rather her look like an ugly chick and then go hit on her? Come on now. Stop being lazy hunters. No, she doesn't give off that vibe that she is unapproachable or a mean ass chick waiting to talk shit to you because you spoke to her. Well, I don't dress this way for you. I dress this way for me. None of that shit. So where did this go? And y'all give me a name of one of these modern singers. If they even R&B singers now, they're usually always rappers. You give me the name of one of these modern chicks, and I'll pull up a picture of her. Yeah, no resting bitch face. No resting bitch face. That picture you saw, did she not look like a feminine woman? Was she trying to look like a whole dude and madder in the face than a guy? Bam, Tiana Taylor. Here we go. You need to say that shit. Woo! Oof, oof, oof. You just trying to relive my harshest memories of watching one battle after another. And this will Malika, good choice, because this will feed directly into Cross. There you go. Mm, yeah, it's still on the screen. Stop sharing that one. Share that one. There you go. What you think? Kind of sexy? Like I said, she always appears to be ready to fight. Doesn't she? She's not an ugly woman, but I'm getting mixed vibes off of this one. Even though it's supposed to be sexy because you can see her panties and her boob is out, but she's covering the nipple. I'm still getting mixed vibes. It still has a 90s feel to it. I'm just getting mixed vibes. Uh, like this one. Is that not the RBF that Malika was talking about? Is it not? This shit on the red carpet? This looks somewhat wholesome, but she still got that RBF on. I don't know what the fuck this is. I would have posed for that picture. Oh, good thing I get to see the whole kit and caboodle. That one looked mad. That one looked mad. She don't look happy to be there at all. She don't look happy to be there. This is a fake smile. That seemed like a fake smile. She attractive, but she don't look happy to be anywhere in any of these fucking pictures. It doesn't give off the vibe of a personality I'd be interested in. She does have striking features, trust. She does. Them lips, those eyes. She got boobs. Oh well, every woman does. Yeah, but like I said, she's not a feminine woman. I don't know. Ask a woman. Russ, do you see her as being feminine? Because they do keep her scantily clad. Say no, leaving that one on the shelf. She got abs like a dude, and she always got her ass half out. Damn, she got tattoos on her leg. I hate those fucking. I shouldn't say I hate. I dislike some big ass scrawling leg tattoos, dude. That's some they're making themselves look ugly and don't even realize it. It's just not me. She does look kind of mad in each picture. Is that the Golden Globes? Does that look like a real smile? She's a mom too? Ugh. Is she with Aaron Pierre? So, if this is supposed to be a foreign black woman, just say she is This generation's Holly Berry. I don't know if that's true or not, but let's just say she is. Let's just say she is. She's this generation's Holly Berry. Why the fuck you got her having sex scenes with Leonardo DiCaprio and old ass Sean Penn in a movie and give that movie Best Picture? Wouldn't that just make it like Monsters Ball? You take something like this. Oh, fuck, she was at Disney too. You take something like this. Damn, she do got some big scrawling ass tattoo on her whole fucking thigh. Jesus Christ. You take something like this and put that in a sex scene with wrinkled up old ass Sean Penn. Talk about debasement, dude. Talk about debasement. She was a warrior. Bumpers, yeah, Aquateki, exactly. A bumper sticker on a luxury car. I told you, my ex, closest to a 10 I've had, she said that shit. Why she didn't have tattoos on her fucking body? Because you wouldn't buy a Ferrari and put a bumper sticker on it. The fuck for? And since she told me that, I've seen it be more true that modern chicks that do a lot of tattoos on themselves, they don't necessarily like themselves, not their body, because they always get stupid ass fucking tattoos on them. And talk about the male gaze nowadays. This is all that was seen in the movie. Her being sexual, her ass, her titties, how freaky she wanted to be, how violent she was, all the rest of this shit. Drug use and all the rest of that. And I'm like, the fuck? This shit right here, which would, in my mind, make the baby fucking deaf. You go, who is doing that? There you go. Her and Sean Penn. They first seen together, she got a gun on him and tell him to get his dick up. So he got to get an erection with a woman holding a gun on him. And she was kind of enjoying that. Like, fucking God, dude. It was gross. Fucking gross. And I'm a dude with a penis. It was gross. Yeah, so does that look anything like the Aaliyah of the day? I wouldn't even say she was a tomboy. This one here, I don't think she was a tomboy at all. But she do always look like, or like you're saying, the resting bitch face is always present. There is no softness on this. This shit you wouldn't want to walk up to and talk to as a dude. Sorry, you wouldn't. The face say stay away. And yes, she never looks fucking happy. So I don't know everything about her. I don't. But I know I saw this movie was left a lot to be desired. And how old is she? 30 something, probably 30, 40. I don't know. I didn't say. Yeah. So for me, something is missed nowadays with modern women. And the tomboys of the 90s, I think, had it a little bit more together. Made it a little bit more fun. So give you Wumi over her up any day. At least she seemed like she'd be pleasant. At least, at the very least. Well, like I said, she's a Halle Berry 2.0, an eternal bed wench, and Sapphire. Nowadays, it seemed like it. Being a woman is mistrust. You're one of the few I know who actually um, celebrate in some ways that shouldn't hold to it. Because masculinity is under attack because women want it, and femininity is at an all-time low because they don't want to be it. Well, men can't be it. Sorry, I don't care about how many gay men there are in the world. Not a lot of them want to be women. They just like men. Just saying. Maybe that's why y'all keep going to bat so hard for the trans stuff. Like it matters to you. All it is giving up a position you already hold. To what? You think you're going to switch places with them and take a position that's not yours? Stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. To me. Now, as a counterpoint to that, since that was just a question, we'll get to what Malika was asking about, which was Cross, right? Cross season 2. Finished out the season, as far as I know, all 8 episodes, right? And you know what one of the standout aspects of that show was, Malika? See if you can tell me. The character in the movie embodies a prototypical image of what society perceives as the ideal Black woman in our community. Yes, it is. And that's it right there. Artists and women too busy emulating masculinity to even perform womanhood. That's exactly it. Which is why a lot of the damn times you can find them bitching on fucking social media like a whole damn dude. Kevin would be having a field day with you motherfuckers if he was still alive. He'd be having a field day. That motherfucker would have been at 4 million subs. And y'all still be calling up to get, pointed out your deficiencies. Or to get your deficiencies pointed out. So, Malika, you saw Cross like I did. What was one of the most striking things in Cross? And this relates to the conversation about this femininity and whatnot. And Trust hit it on the head too. Women faking masculine, too much masculinity, you can't even perform womanhood. Can't perform femininity. Too busy trying to be a masculine bitch. So it's been like it taking a while. One of the most striking things that I saw in Cross season 2 was this shit right here. That is, what's her name? Janine Mason. That's the killer in season 2 of Cross. She is fine. Normal. Fine. Now, I can tell you this. We just looked at Tiana Taylor's pictures, right? Okay. This is Janine's pictures. She was a dancer and an actress. Oh my God. She's feminine. Imagine that. She don't look like she want to be there in that picture. She playing nice. Personality, tired, personality. What makes this woman more attractive looking than the other one I was getting? To me, I figure it's a display of femininity. Who the fuck is calling me right now? Look at this shit. Don't this look like some 90s revival right now? Doesn't it? It look like some 90s revival. Chola with the braids. Look like a fucking flashback. Smiles. Where are her pictures with her legs cocked open? That's Instagram. Oh, look, personality. Looking feminine. And this is a Latina. Not a white chick. This is a Latina. Silly ass. Silly ass. Got some fucking calves on. Latina. Caught in the raw. Husband. I don't give a shit about her husband. Fuck her husband. You say fuck the kid. This motherfucker right here. Does that look like somebody who was not happy being a woman? Trying to be a whole dude? If you don't know, if you've never lived with a woman, this is how women act most of the damn time when they're not around people. This goofy shit. I learned that from my daughter. Women are as goofy as fuck. My mother can make a joke, but she wasn't like that. And my daughter, Goofy. Her and her girlfriend's goofy as shit. Goofy as shit. Now, this woman only 35, so she's about as old as my son. She got 2 years on my son, 3 years on my son. So they're in the same age group, right? None of the shit I'm seeing from her in these pictures and in the show, which she can deliver some good roles, some good scenes, is overly throwing me off like, oh, she's just trying to be a dude. Even though the character in the show is tough and brutal. She a fucking killer. No qualms about it. She is a killer. It never comes off as performative masculinity. Never. That's a scene from the show. It comes off as a woman who knows she's a woman, who knows she's feminine, doing some grimy shit to some people who deserve it. I do look young because I am. Every one of the scenes that she's in, she ends up looking like this. She looks feminine as fuck. Beautiful in some scenes. Like, god damn, this killer got a stylist that you would not be suspecting her. And all of the shit looked fly. She was almost distracting in this role. Because if she was coming to get me, she'd probably get me. Because my defenses would have been down. Like, damn, she fine as shit. Rolling all over in the big coat and the hoodies and shit. She'd have killed me. She'd have got me. I wouldn't have been on her list, but she would have got me. If I was. So she played a great role in this shit. And I believed it. It made me pay more attention to her in the show. I like seeing her come on the screen because you can get scenes like this with this emotion and stuff. Even when she was about to take some people out. There's a reason why she did it. But the emotion that character Luce was playing, the drive and desire, I got, but it was never performative masculinity. Never was. It was a killer, but it wasn't a woman trying to act masculine the way Tiana Taylor's character was in One Battle After Another. It didn't come off like that. This character, just showed you pictures of the woman in her actual life. That's her fucking Instagram. Seems like she knows she's a woman and fine with that. But she also knows what she has to do. So if that still exists, and that's somebody in their 30s, what happened to it all these years that most of what we see is the performativeness nature of it with Tiana Taylor and them, where she's just trying to be masculine. Why is that the prominent view nowadays? If that question made any goddamn sense. I don't know. Something is missing. Something is really missing. And I'm a little, distracted a bit about why it's missing. What keeps it under wraps? Because, like I'm saying, these pictures look like 90s gold. To me, it looks like 90s gold. It looks beautiful and somewhat happy in all of these goddamn pictures. Even this shit that is just really working for me. This simple shit right here. Motherfucker. You couldn't see her standing next to Aaliyah in a video wearing the same shit? Baggy clothes and Tim's on? And you'll still be like, man, I gotta holler. I got to holler. Anti-masculinity, woman's inner self. Yeah, see what kind of picture you get back. I don't feed the AI beast, but y'all go ahead and knock yourselves. I'm saving that picture. Sorry. It's too cute. That's a cutie pie picture right there. It was a good role. It was a good role. She did a good job in that role. Finding out that she is a dancer and stuff like that just made me know why her body is proportioned the way it is. Takes care of herself. She's only 35. It doesn't take much work, I don't think. But this shit, this is from the show. I'm still looking at it like, bro, I hit that. And what does she have on? Some jeans and a tennis shoes and a fucking zip up hoodie and her hair braided. I'd still be like, man, what you doing out here? Hello, how are you? Not an ugly woman. Not an ugly woman. They should have got her, get her to be in the ballerina too. See if she want to do some action. Because her kills in this show was sinister. Sinister. Oh, and she's a mother too. Yeah, Tiana Taylor is a mother. And this chick, Janine Mason, is a mother too. Which one do you think gonna have the more well-rounded kids? Just saying. Everybody do reviews now. Well, we made it look so easy. Scrumdiddly. Anyway, that was the point. I wonder where these women went. I'm sure they still exist. I'm just wondering where they went. Now, Malika, since we have both watched this now, I'm going to drop this link for Malika. And I want you to come up here and tell me what you thought of Cross real quick like. Just Malika hit that. And once he hit it, I'm removing that shit from the chat. Because y'all know I got up late, but I'm on limited time. I don't have time to be going back and forth with all the bullshit. But I do want to hear what my cinephilic brother thought of this this season of Cross. Loose. Oh, can't you at work? Oh, well, that just sucks for you, sir. Delete that comment. Tiana and the women of her ilk today aren't raised to be feminine, ladylike, or modest. They are raised to be competitive and masculine. That's for damn sure. That's what you can see them performing the most. Because they're damn showing femininity. Which I believe is a loss. Look, in some ways, masculinity is overrated. Definitely for women. That's the last area you need to be trying to compete with a man in. I'm serious. The last one. Lionel, you need to catch up to the live part. We already went over that no sound part. You commenting on something and you behind about 20 minutes. But you're commenting on the live portion. So this season across for the short answer review, since Malaki can't be up here. I enjoyed it. But the last episode seemed rushed. Everything for the first 7 episodes of that, it was plotting out really good. The pacing was a little slow, but it was going along good in the story and getting the reveal of Luz, played by Janine. Lionel, stop responding in the chat when you're behind. Fucking hell, dude. Yeah, Illuminati. The last episode should have been 2 episodes because they just forced it. That shit was so. It broke the tempo. It broke the tempo of what was happening for the 7 episodes up to that point. The last episode just rushed through shit. And it was unfortunate because I wanted those tie-ups, those loose ends tied up, but I wanted to have it talked out a little bit more. There you go, Malika. I wanted to have it talked out a little bit more because that would have been more impactful for just where Alex went to in all one episode. Like he went from hell, we might get the dude to I'm on the run and now I'm a fugitive to now I'm not a fugitive. Now I'm quitting the force all in one episode. I'm like, this was way too rushed. Well, what the fuck happened? Did they just cut it off and not want to do 10 episodes or what? That shit was too quick. It was jarring how quickly that shit just rubbernecked to something else. Like, I don't know what happened. Did the show say they was getting canceled or something or what? Like, that was too much. That was too much. There was good stuff in it, but that last episode went way too goddamn fast. They breezed through shit. Some stuff they didn't even tie up. What up, Malika?
Hey, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I got you.
Yeah, I got a little break time, and it's just me out here. So,
all right, we out here. So let's get to it. What you got, man? You know me and you watch this cross thing, so let's get to it.
It was good. I agree. Last episode was kind of quick, kind of brief, but they got to sign off for a third season. What I liked about this was what I liked first was that you saw more background of other people. I like the story with John and his mom, which showed to the point of when I put in the chat, no good deed goes unpunished, like a big story for us black men, because his mother was just using him. Hold on, there's a train coming. Another thing, you could see how the way a lot of times in our community where if a man is trying to connect, especially to his mom, or he's trying to connect to somebody, and a woman's going to put another man over her child, especially if the man is abusive. You've seen that. And you can see Nana Mama was always trying to protect him. And Alex was also trying to protect him too, because Nana Mama knew how the way his mom was.
Mhm.
And I guess John had to see that himself. Now, Cross and the black woman who works for the city,
Yeah.
another part, no good deed goes unpunished. She knows
Ellen.
what his job is.
Yeah, L. That
She
shows
knows that. Now, what pisses me off is she loves him. She loves that man Stinky Draws, and he loves her. And Cross is trying to connect and reach to her, because in the first season, for the first 4 episodes, she's wanting him to break the wall down, and she's being that, and he broke the wall down. And even with coming to the end, he's there. Now, another thing that she loves, family. She loves his family. But here's one thing: she's more drawn to his daughter, which is fucked up.
That's
You want to be here for my daughter, but you don't want to be here for me. But somehow you know what my job is. You're saying that I use you. I didn't mean to use you, but you were there. But she knows
right.
this. I do not like the FBI agent, because even though that it might have been a moment of crisis, how the way they see each other,
Yeah, you like Kayla?
she's an unbearable person, because she's not a likable person. She works well, but at the same time, she knows even herself, her personality, she's always conflicting.
Mm-hmm.
And when the city and also the other people said, okay, we need to get to the end of this, because we're going to put Alex Cross in charge of it. And her boss kind of backed up, but she was feeling some kind of way. And I'm like, oh, you want to be in control. You want to control everything. That's why you can't have a relationship. That's why you can't be trusted. Now, her backstory with making the soldiers deal with this certain mind control kind of stuff, that's kind of unique for her. But what I
Mm-hmm.
don't like about her is she knows that she's not going to be in a good relationship with Cross. And Alex knows that. And here's the thing: both of them are psychologically in tune with people and with themselves. He knows she's not good for the long haul. Alex is looking for somebody that's going to love him and accept him. She can't deal with being in a relationship. She can't even deal with being around a person for a long period of time. So that was one
Right.
thing. I liked how the way it showed more integral interplay with personalities in this season, because this season was okay. It wasn't better than the first season, but you saw more integral play, how the way Alex is still a human being, he's flawed, and all these other people around him are flawed. And it was good that we saw John have a backstory, which was cool. And also how the way Alex, like, okay, Alex is not just like, okay, I'm going to solve the crime, I'm going to get it done. He's always looking to do the best possible thing, even if it may be something that he jeopardizing. Like, all right, when he was finally deducing what Luce was about and how this whole situation got dealing with getting illegal immigrants and making them work for these companies
Child
that
labor.
were child labor, all this other stuff that he's uncovering. Alex is always being the underdog and looking for the right thing. And he's like, Luce, come on. But Luce used his kindness as a weakness. And also, the FBI agent used his kindness as a weakness. And she always told him, she said, don't put your guard down. But she used him too, because she know Alex has that heart. And here's another thing. Everybody knows Alex. That's why John's on this favor. Adopt this young boy, or at least be the foster parent to this young boy, which was great.
Mm.
And this is where you see that I think that's why I kept saying no good deed goes unpunished, because he's always seen as like, okay, Alex will be here to save it. Alex, you got to take care of it. It's like, he's great, but it's also to the point, like, if he solves it, great. But if you don't solve it and you don't do the thing the right way, oh, it's your fault. So it's always going to fall on his shoulders. So that was just the funny thing. I was like, well, damn, we can't we
Can't
just
win.
can't win for exactly. He can't win for losing for the woman that wants him. From the first season, she wants him. I'll take my time. Cause like the first episode, I said, oh damn, we're jumping into the sex already. Damn, okay. But then
Thought they made up.
she wakes up, but then she's like, and it's all this problem. And like I'm looking, and the guy that wants her, he's good on paper. But I'm like, she don't want him. She
She don't
wants
feel like
Cross.
that.
She don't know. Let me tell you something. What I like about the acting, every time Alex is around her, how the way she plays it, you see how the way she looks at him. Remember when he came in and she's like, oh my God, what happened to you? She said, I heard it was just an accident. But you see how the concern on her face, but then she realized it was it just really an auto accident? And she's like, I can't do this. But then she still has that look. But every time he's around, every time he comes up to her, she looks at him. She's stimulated. Everything. She fell in love with that dude back when they were in junior high school. So I mean, so and like Nana Mama said, but here's the funny thing: when Nana Mama said, "You worried about all this falling asleep on the couch when this is the person he's a detective and he's on a case." This is what cracks me up. This is the thing. This is the ill-fated thing of men, but especially black men. Somehow, you're supposed to turn yourself into multiple man, and you can do anything and everything, and trying to be in pull. Here's the funny thing: he's on a case trying to get this serial killer woman to stop killing these people, even though that she seems more of an anti-hero and her vengeance may be just, but she's being a murderer, which is that's why we have laws.
Mm-hmm.
In lieu of trying to stop the trafficking, he gets this young boy. For his best friend, he fosters this young boy and tries to give him a choice because what's the name sees himself in this little boy. So that's the connection. He sees, well, damn, come on, sugar, take care of this boy the way you and Anna Mama took care of me. Alex sees that. Also, he wants to come home, wants to be there for his family, make sure his kids are taken care of. And here's the funny thing. He's caught between a rock and a hard place because Nana Mama, remember, she went to go visit a friend. But Alex is always trying to look for somebody to make sure the kids is all right. Because Nana Mama takes care of the home, make sure the kids are eating healthy, make sure everybody's eating right. But he's doing his job. But the chick that he's in love with, the woman that's in love with him, she makes sure the kids are okay. She realizes that, okay, I love you. I love your family. I'll make sure the kids are there. Yeah, you're supposed to fit in. That's the thing. But that's his job. So you can't stand, but you know what his job is. This is the problem that cracks me up, where no good deed goes unpunished. You know this is what he does. But here's the funny thing. If that's what you know what he does, then don't deal with him anymore. If that's how the way you feel, okay, you let your man go. But if you're going to go get with the next man that you feel that can't fill the space across, don't complain. That's my thing. The man that you want is right there. It's either that you can deal with that his life. That's like if a woman's dealing with a fireman, a woman's dealing with a police officer, she's dealing with a soldier, she's dealing with a guy that's an EMT. You have to understand the repercussions of what he's doing. That's what he does. And here's the crazy part. You know he's the best at what he does. And that's why he's always doing what he does. And you know he's always trying to make the right decision. And the thing is, and I think what her selfishness is that Alex realizes his calling is that he's doing what he's supposed to do because his calling is bigger than him, and that's his hero's journey.
Mm-hmm.
And she realizes that, but she doesn't want to come second to his calling. And that's her problem.
Yeah. I would agree because I could tell you I like Elle. I like this actress as well in this role. just forgetting her name when I just saw it. Walker. I like her. She's fine. She's fine. Tiana Taylor to me, just standing up there with a skee ball head, like that, with the tennis ball head and everything. I'm like, this sister fine. This is a fine sister. Every time she on the screen,
that smile and them dimples, brother, I melt. I'm like, oh, come on.
Oh my God, boy, you're talking about sexy chocolate. But
Yes.
she was pissing me off in this season because she was playing that back and forth bullshit with Alex, and I didn't like that because she is kind of punishing him for doing his fucking job. Somebody is trying to kill them, himself, his family. Yes, he used her as bait a little bit to get that motherfucker out into the open so he can take care of business. She mad at him about that shit. She break up with him about that shit, but she don't want to be away from his family and his kids and shit. Look, bitch, in or out. In or out.
Exactly.
What the fuck? You mad at him because he used you. You alive because he used you, and y'all ain't under threat anymore. But it's your life. I can't be a part of that. But I'm gonna be with your kids all the time. No, bitch, you gonna be gone. Look, don't women use that shit? It's a package deal.
Exactly.
Package
and my thing,
deal,
you can't get over.
So what the fuck?
You can't get over
you around his kids in his house all the time and shit like that, but you ain't gonna be fucking with him? Man, get the fuck out.
Exactly.
That shit was pissing me off because to me, she's just trying to have her cake and eat it too and make him bow to her. Like, you got this dude over there who taking you out to dinner, but you can't decide if he's your boyfriend or not. But then you gonna turn right around, leave that dude, and go and fuck Alex? Dude, I've been in that situation. Are you fucking kidding me? That's because
she don't want that dude.
She don't want that dude. She just like him there.
She likes it. You know what she likes? She likes the just like every woman. She likes the attention. But here's the funny: she likes the attention that he's being accommodating to her. Alex is always. First of all, let's get something straight. It ain't even just about Alex being accommodating to her. Ever since from junior high, she has loved this guy. Only time she stepped off was when Alex was married to his wife. If Alex's wife wasn't there when they were there, she would be there. She even said she remembered the song that they were playing in junior high was SWV. And she said, and he remembered she had this green dress on, and she was smiling, and she was gleaming from ear to ear. And he said, that's when I knew I wanted to be with you. And she was smiling from the remember when we first see her, he pulls up in his Mustang to the city event, and she sees him in a tuxedo, and she has that look that she sighed because she sees that he's coming, and she was smiling, and she touched his chest. I said, that chick love him. Every time that he's around, it's the chemistry. That's when you know somebody's into you. It just doesn't matter. She is into him, and also Alex is what she loves about him, that he's dedicated to his job, but also she sees that he's dedicated to his family, and also that he's a good man.
Yeah, she want to be a part of all of that shit, but I can't be a part of you. That don't make no goddamn sense.
Because she wants it on her terms.
He is. Exactly. And that's exactly the point I was getting to. She wants it on her terms. She wants Alex on her terms, which is not going to work because, like you're saying, she's going to come second to work. It's shit bigger. I said at the beginning of the show, it's bigger stuff happening. Bigger stuff happening in the world than just her and her feelings. Things had to be done. Now, you gonna hate on him and try to punish him for doing his goddamn job and using whatever he could to get that job completed. You knew what the stakes were. You knew who he was, but your world is seeing you like this. What?
And you know
beat up
what
accident because somebody tried to kill him? You can't deal with that.
But also, but you know what is the ultimate slap in the face? When her daughter was piecing it together and she says, what do you mean? His daughter was like, well, why are you not being together? Well, we're just not together. She said, well, why? Well, why are you here? She says, well, she's like, and her daughter got up and was like, you're just here. Well, why? What's going on? And then she realized,
Janine checked.
Kid, she realized that, oh, kids just don't want the half-assedness. They want the full thing. And they don't care about the problems or it's complicated. No, it's complicated for you.
Yeah.
It's not complicated for Alex. Alex said he's trying.
Been trying.
Hell,
Janine broke her down. Janine broke L down, and she delivered a cold ass line to that chick. It's like, thanks for deciding, but you never asked me what I want, or something like that.
Yes.
Worse than a fact.
Thank you. Thank you.
It wasn't complicated. Janine liked what she liked. She liked L coming around the house. She liked L being her advocate and stuff like that. She liked her dad. She liked her dad and L together. When she showed her planner, and I'm like, oh, this is a bad look. Don't show her your damn planner. And Janine saw that date with Trevor, lunch with Trevor. Like, who the hell is Trevor? You in my daddy house. You in my daddy house right now, hanging out with me. Who the hell is Trevor? Like, oh, is that your boyfriend? She couldn't even answer that question to a child. Is that your boyfriend? Well, not really. We're figuring it out. Oh, you just hot in the streets is what you is. Oh, fuck all that.
But then here's the crazy part. You're saying something to a child, like it's one of your girlfriends, and you think, oh, see, this is the problem. When you're treating a child like one of your girlfriends, and this is the crazy part what black men will do, because she's black and it's this sister girl mindset, and you think that you're above black men, you keep forgetting this is the man's child, the man that you love, that you still love, but see, you're putting the sister girl mindset attitude above that. And when it came back, she's like, huh?
I said, to me, it's like undermining.
Exactly. Until she realized,
why are you playing with his kids like that?
Exactly.
Because the kids have a view of you with their father.
Exactly.
Why play in their face? You gonna still? Oh, I love the hell out of you. Why? I ain't your damn child. Why? You want to get your motherhood jollies off at the same time of getting your sexual jollies off, and that being desired jollies all at the same time. We just gonna use us in the middle. See, one of the main things that I saw in this whole season, it was more women prominent in the show, but what you saw was more manipulation happening with women throughout the whole show. Every one of
John's
them
mom,
manipulating Nana Mama, John's mom, Kayla, L, Luce's auntie, her tia,
especially Luce's auntie.
Oh my God, that bitch! I was shocked. And then I was pissed off. Like, bruh, you dirty, just manipulative women in different areas. Everybody think they doing it for the greater good. It's not the greater good. It's for their own selfishness and their own fucking egos.
Exactly.
Alex, and Luce, Donnie, even Bobby Trey. All of these motherfuckers is being manipulated. They are being who they are, but they're being manipulated by these other women in power. I'm like, this is some bullshit.
And even what I liked about
even the senator, the senator's son, like, yeah, you getting played because mama was dirty and she
like, the mama.
Your college fund, that was paid for by this shit. Like, oh my God, you put me in a boat.
But also, you know what I liked about Bobby? Because remember in the first season, we learned that also he was special forces, right?
Yeah,
thinking that. But then he comes back, and I could tell the reason why he's pissed, and it shows a little bit more meat to the story of him.
Mm-hmm.
When the FBI agent is like, well, what's your problem, Mr. Kelly? He said, drug dealer, failed cop. He said, and he tells, Sergeant Bobby, such and such, first such and such. He breaks that down. Yeah, he's a soldier.
He's an air
and he's like, y'all use. He said, and y'all keep you. And I'm paraphrasing, like, you're just using us as a weapon, like y'all always do.
Yeah. Him and Luce.
That was, huh?
I said him and Luce. Yeah. Him and Luce. Luce was a weapon. Bobby was a weapon, being manipulated and used by women in some kind of control to sit there and lie to your ass enough to have you out on some damn dummy missions covering up their bullshit.
And
Luce
one
was
thing that
righteous that she was doing what she was doing, but the person who set her up to do that shit was not righteous at all.
yes.
Not. Even with all that sisterhood bullshit.
And one of the beautiful things that I realized throughout of all this chaos, Alex does his job. Alex stands tall and does his job, puts the things together again, and he tries to, and he doesn't try, he does what's right. He does his job. That's why he's good at what he does. He doesn't want any accolades. He doesn't want the key to the city. Alex didn't even really want to be in charge. He wanted to work in conjunction with that. But the problem is that the chief of police said, okay, y'all just all over the place and y'all just fucking up shit. Alex, you're in charge.
And
he was like, oh God. And he knew that. And then you see the FBI agent, she kind of rolls her eyes and she's being all off-putting. Yeah, and I'm like, and he said, and remember they're at the safe house with all the shareholders, right? And she's acting indignant. He's like, what's wrong with you? Hey. But here's what pissed me off. And he was kind of a little simpish, like, we are, no, you're fine, boss. And I would have said to her, I said, after we finish this shit, leave me the fuck alone. I don't care whatever problems you have with the FBI. Don't come to me for no shit. Leave me the hell alone. Because all this attitude and just because you got to bug up your ass because you want to be in charge, get the fuck out of here. No, I would told her.
You have to remember, her and Alex are actually friends. And because she was Alex's wife's friend. So they're close. They into the same kind of shit. So I don't see it as a little bit simpish because they actually end up, messing around with each other or whatever. But he knows who Kayla is. That's like Pepper Potts fucking with Tony Stark. You know who Tony Stark is. Why are you fucking him? And wanting a real relationship? Stop tripping. Like, come on now. You know who the hell he is. Alex knows who the hell he is. It's not that big of a deal, dude. It's like, don't worry about it. She got her own.
The crazy part with Kayla always wanted Alex. You could tell.
Yeah, she did.
She always wanted Alex. But here's the problem with Kayla. Kayla knows that she could, with any man. Kayla knows she cannot give Alex what Alex deserves or give any man anything what any man deserves because she knows she's messed up and she's got issues because she wants to run and be in control. And the thing is, Kayla just wants to be in control because because something within her is missing. The problem is, Alex he does the job, but at the same time, he puts everything else first because he knows his calling is to protect society. He knows that he'll put everybody else and he'll always do the right thing. Kayla respects that about him, but at the same time, Alex is going home to us.
Yeah, Kayla wants the same things, but she wants it for self-serving reasons.
Exactly. Kind of in the same way Nat.
Yeah, that's the whole reason why she's spending most of this damn season trying to cover up some of the shit she was involved in and not get exposed because it was for self-serving reasons. Yeah, she's still trying to do her job and help the public and shit like that, but some of this other shit can't come to light because that'll fuck up her, not everybody else. Her, personally.
And here's the funny thing. She knows if Alex gets wind of it, he's going to pull back the layers. First of all, he's going to pull back the layers and he's going to blow the cover on a government cover up anyway, because she knows he's that good. Secondly, what's going to hurt her even more, not even just the cover blow up, how the way Alex sees her.
Yep. She values that.
That's like your kid. She values that, and but also because you gotta understand, she really doesn't have any friends.
No.
Because
she can't. She really can't, in a sense. Alex is probably one of her only friends because of how she is, and and how she goes about her damn job. So, because of the nature of what she does, having to manipulate people and shit like that, she really can't have too many friends. She can't. It's too many loose ends.
And
The
it's
shit
kind of
that
like
she's
when,
involved in, you put every one of them in danger, right? Because she is so much of I need to accolade, I need to be competitive and better than a man so much that fuels her so much. She can't carry on anything serious, especially not with no dude. How?
exactly,
You competing against them. It's not going to work.
two things can occupy the same space at the same time.
No, they cannot.
And that's the crazy part. What I seen with that. And for me, it's a great story.
It is
And
great.
and I think Alex knew it, but then it was like, because like when first I said, "Oh no, no, Alex, no, don't fuck her. Oh God, this is gonna end badly." Ah,
Yeah.
ah, I can understand.
Alcohol.
But then it was like, but then I liked it because it showed him being human. He's human, and he's being vulnerable too because he still loved that woman. He loved that woman. First of all, what I love about it, like when she was telling him to leave, like you can see Aldous Hodges' face just breaking down, and he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, why is she breaking this man's heart?" I was like, that's something from the '90s that we don't see. Like, a woman breaking a man's heart, and you can tell him, he's like, I'm trying and doing everything. He is, and she knows it. But then she walks away and she's crying, and I was like, and I'm cussing at my TV, and I'm saying, "You no good, selfish bitch. Damn, nothing's good." I said, "This man from the first season is trying to do this. Now you got him." Because remember, John is saying, "Where you going?" He said, "Oh, you going over there?" Because remember, he said, "Oh, y'all just cool, but why you still got her on your screensaver?" He said, "I just haven't taken it off." He's like, "Yeah, okay. When you going over there? You going there after?" He's like, and I like that because his boy knows him. See, that's the cool thing. When your buddy knows you, and he's like, and his buddy's not pushing it, and he's like, yeah, okay. I know you still want her, and she still wants you. Just a matter of time. But I hope it prolongs more in the third season with their relationship. And it goes deeper and more where she realizes that I can't leave this man alone because no other man's going to measure up to him. None. That's the man you want. That is the man you want. That dude that you went on a date with, any other guy that you went on a date with, that's cool. I would love to show, I would do a scene if he's out with a guy and he sees her, he meets her, but then he walks by, but you can see how the way she's just looking at him.
Just
And the
making
guy
polite
notices, huh?
She's just sitting there making polite conversation, but the guy sees how she reacts to Alec.
Yep. How the way she sees, how the way he walks, how the way things are going. And he just moves on and he goes on. Or if he comes in with another woman, how the way she gonna look at him and look at the other woman.
Mm-hmm.
And how the way just saying, she can't, no. That woman love his funky draws. You had to learn the hard way.
I gotta move on. Like, you ain't moving nowhere. You're just trying to monkey branch to another penis, but you still want them under your terms. You can't have them under your terms. This is the thing with, that they put in this show, which is this modern relationship stuff. You cannot have men, especially men that are driven to any kind of calling. You cannot have them under your terms. You have to deal with them on theirs. That's just the way it is. Alec is never, as much as he'll try, he is never going to be able to give Elle the vision that she wants because she doesn't even know what the fuck it is. If she did, she wouldn't be cavitating between Alex or Trevor. There wouldn't be any of that. If she knew, it wouldn't be. She'd be able to answer the questions to a fucking 10-year-old.
Yep.
or excuse me, a 13-year-old. She'd be able to answer these damn questions because Janelle, Alex's daughter, just hit her with straight up questions. Who is this?
Mm-hmm.
What is this about? Is this your man? Is this your not? Are you gonna be here or not? What the fuck? Them was three simple ass questions. She was still, well, no. The little girl
Just
got
don't
up
want to
and
hear
left.
it's.
All that. I don't want to hear that shit. No,
Yeah,
did
they
you?
don't want to hear it's complicated. No.
Yeah, no cavitating, bruh. Make up your goddamn mind.
And
Shit
here's the
is
funny part.
overly complicated.
Yep.
Elle was making it overly complicated, and that's why from like the third episode when they had sex again, I said, "Oh, this is gonna be bad." She just wanted her cake and eat it too, is what it is. Like fuck all this. He don't have time to be chasing you around. That's not what he's gonna be doing. You know what his job is. I never get this understanding, and this is a show, mind you, but I never get this understanding. You know what a person does. You know how dedicated they are. That part is attractive to you. But then when they're dedicated, you keep trying to want to pull them away from it. You need something to do with yourself.
You know what that is? And I'll tell you what that is, right? That's because they're not getting the direct benefit of what they do.
Mm-hmm.
If whatever that you're doing, that you know, it could be whatever it is. If you're an architect and you're putting up all this great architecture, and your firm is getting these calls to do it, and you're breaking on this multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar deal, it's cool because your wife said, "Oh, Artisan works for such and such firm, and you know they just did this." Yeah, that's cool because she's benefiting from it. But if you're breaking ground on this multi-million-dollar deal and there is no benefit from it because you're not home, you're working hard, you're doing all this work, and she doesn't see you, and the kids isn't there, but she's living good, and she says, "I don't see you that much anymore. I don't care. You're not around. It's this, it's that." But she likes the lifestyle, but you're not there, but she can't realize that, okay, you bust your ass so hard to do the same thing. If you're a police officer, when I was a police officer, I dealt with women. She said they couldn't deal with the hectic schedule and the danger. And my grandmother said it wasn't like you just became a cop when y'all got together. They knew what you were.
Sure.
And somebody said they're not. Somebody told me this. See, they like what you do, but if they're not getting direct benefit, meaning like, "Oh, Malika saved a bus full of children that almost got into a car crash," or "I just tracked down a serial killer that was killing a bunch of people," like Alex Cross.
He on the news. He's notable. That's awesome. Yeah, I know him.
But then at the same time, that's his job. That's his calling. That's what he does good. If he just had, remember in the first episode, he was going to take time off because he was still dealing with the death of his wife. But then the copycat killing had to come in, and they were like, "All right, Alex, we need you." And he comes in and he gets with this case. And John was telling him, he was like, "You sure you need to do this? You need to take some time off because this is no." And his boy was telling him, "Are you sure? You need to take some time off because you haven't really healed." Because remember, he's still having PTSD. He's still dealing with issues because remember, he couldn't go to the gravesite. John would it was the anniversary of her death, and also it was her birthday. Some stuff he was still dealing with. And it was something where his boy was like, "Yo, maybe you don't need to do this." And that was something that was real. But look, Holmes, I got the ship's about to change. I'm gonna be here alone for myself. I'm still tuning in on there. I don't mean to cut in an abrupt moment, right? But the two dudes that went through, they about to
let you go. I knew you were. That's why I let you go. I knew you was on a break and you had a lot you wanted to get out in the time that you had. So it's good, man. It's good.
All
I
right.
appreciate you still coming on, taking some time.
I appreciate you for letting me come up and rap.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. You know what it is. So that was the Malika Me Bang, my cinephilic brother. Get back to work. keep the motherfuckers in line, and then I'll carry on the conversation. That's it. That was the Malika me bang. Look, he was watching the show. I was watching the show, and he was watching it more than me. Now you can't see it, but I got Alex Cross book sitting up there on the shelf. It's a character I like, right? Listening while cleaning and dusting out my server. Okay, I was just checking because y'all just got dead all of a sudden. I thought somebody cut the stream or some shit because the chat was not moving at all. So I just had to ask, do a wellness check. If I'm wasting time, I always leave. The show touched on a lot of things, and Malika touched on a lot of things in giving his little reaction or review to the show. I appreciate him for doing that. I can tell you the show was good. That last episode bothered me because of the tempo of it. It seemed like it was really chopped up and it just pushed things along. And it undid some groundwork that had been covered in the whole show. One piece of groundwork that it undid was Kayla and Alex's relationship. It actually threw a huge monkey wrench in that shit. All of a sudden, that Kayla is now assistant deputy in charge of some shit or whatever. She gained a new position within the bureau. But one of her first acts is she lets them try to get Alex, track his location through his phone, when all of a sudden Alex becomes a fugitive from the FBI because he won't turn over this information and incriminate some very wealthy people. It's like they've brought her into the fold more in the bureau, and she has to make nice with these people, and so she's turning and giving up her friend, secret lover. I don't like that too much. I didn't mind the character of Kayla. I like Alec having a friend that was kind of his peer, in a sense, with the psychology part. Turning that into somebody who's going to be an adversary is kind of messed up, but Alex Cross does not live in the rainbows and unicorn world. Things are usually messed up. Situation with him and Ellie, it's stupid. To me, it's stupid. Well, it's not stupid. To me, it's irritating because I don't like a lot of that equivocation back and forth. It causes a lot of undue stress on Alec because basically he can never get a break. It doesn't matter. He just got almost killed at work, finally made it back to his home, back to his family and his kids. And then the next piece of bullshit he's dealing with after he walks in the door is L's shit. I'm not going to come around here anymore because I just don't feel it's right or whatever. I said, that's not the reason you're not coming around here no more. You're not coming around here no more because that little girl just told your ass something. That little girl just told you what you was doing was fucked up. That's why you're not coming, but you're not going to own that with Alex. You're going to tell him it's some other shit. No, it's not. It's because Janine decided she didn't want what you was trying to peddle on her. That's not the kind of family she was looking for. We are family. I love you. Yeah, but you didn't ask me about that shit. She wasn't cool with it. And I've seen that happen. That's what happened with my fucking divorce with my kid. The reason it went the way it went is because the daughter wasn't down for that shit. That's not what she wanted. Oh, well, too fucking bad. So L pulling that shit and telling it to Alec after he ain't gotten a car accident, he ain't almost got attempted murder twice. He making home with a fractured arm and some fucked up shit. And now oh yeah, I'm not going to come around you anymore. I think it's confusing. What? No, you confused. The house is running. You are confused. And you bringing that confusion into his house. Shit was wild. That was wild. Um, Luce as a character, I really understood the character, I understood why she was doing what she's doing, and I didn't have a problem with the people that was getting snuffed out. I didn't, because they was pieces of shit. Millionaires, billionaires or not, they were pieces of shit. Didn't have a problem with that so much. The whole thing that the show kept getting hung on was the same bullshit in one battle after another. They're really playing up this Latino struggle of immigration, child labor, and undocumented workers. Now, this show made it work a little bit better than it did in one battle after another, in which I didn't care. This show, I cared a little bit more, but they kept mixing messages in this because what they're trying to say is that all these undocumented workers are usually kids, and the kids are the ones that's working in these factories and shit like that. It's not exactly how I understand it work from working with undocumented workers. It's usually men or women, and their families are somewhere else. And the money they make here goes back to their families. Kids, maybe in a third world country, maybe in China, something like that. But maybe I'm ignorant on this view. Maybe I am. But I don't see that happening. Try to string it along with kids because this is actually the third time I've heard this shit since watching Accountant 2, where they had to adopt a little Mexican boy. I was like, is this the proponent for these people taking these little Mexican children into these families? Because you remember that was happening during the Obama years, right? That these motherfuckers was getting deported, and then their kids was just here, and their kids was going to, good respecting white folks' families to blow their numbers. And now this is the third time I've seen it in a show put up there like that. Oh no, which is this Roberto? Oh, we're so happy to have Roberto. Like, what in the fuck? That's supposed to be a good thing? Why don't you send them back with their family? Or not deport their family? Oh no, it's a little weird to me. So the whole show, not hinging on that, but having that there with an evil billionaire who's trying to feed the world and all the rest of that stuff, and he's doing all this feeding the world, which they don't get into how this crop works or this seed works. No, we got to worry about chicken plants and undocumented workers and chicken farming plants and stuff like that. So mixing in the Monsanto stuff, the hatred for Elon Musk and billionaires and all the rest of this shit together, pedophilia, child labor, mixing all this shit together into one stew was a bit much for me. That was a bit much because it really made it. And why should Alex care about any of this shit? Why should I, as a viewer, care about any of this stuff? Because I'm a black dude. Why should I care about any of this? Basically, you're just breaking down any institution you can all at the same time. It was an interesting story. It was written well. It was. But by the time I got close to the end of this season, I was really wondering, what book is this from? What book is this from James Patterson? What cross book was this covered in? Because I don't think it was. I think it was some shit the writers cooked up in a room somewhere and they just wanted to touch on, and that's why all this stuff is hot thrown in there together. But it's written really well to where, okay, you can follow it. You can follow it. The fact that you can follow most of the season, they didn't get to the last episode, and it's all this other shit just thrown all together. It was like it should have been 2 more episodes of this, or 3, because that was too rushed, way too rushed. Now, the through line that you miss is the manipulation about women in power. There's a lot of women in power in this. A lot of empowered women in this. Attractive, but a lot of women in power. And they behave badly at every level for their own selfish reasons or just through the run of it. Now, this made it more interesting because everybody is not a girl boss. It's a bunch of female bosses. But everybody's not a girl boss. But they are complicit in a lot of bullshit that's going on. A lot, even Kayla. Well, I like the character of Kayla. I like her paired up with Alex to give him a foil. Some of that shit start rubbing me like Reacher season, 2, 3? With the incompetent FBI agent. Got people killed in her custody and all kind of shit. And her main thing is she trying to sleep with Reacher. I'm like, so to see another female FBI agent sleeping with the dude she's working with, but at the same time trying to use him to cover up her bullshit at the same time on the back end. This made me like the Bobby Trey character a lot more. Every time that brother came on screen, I was enjoying him a lot more. I hope he get a lot more work and stay as a recurring character in this shit. Because his character was interesting. Because his character, as much as you think he's a scumbag, murderer, and stuff like that, he does have morals. He does have some code. And when he sees the shit that's happening to actual soldiers, he's about to kill Kayla. Yeah, she wouldn't got him out of prison to help her do this off the books work. But when he sees some shit that's objectionable to him, he ready to kill her. And any of them about that shit. Any of them. Because that you cross the line with him. You can call him whatever the hell you want to. He know who he is. And he know what he does not stand for. That abuse of soldiers and stuff like that, he is not about that. He is not about that shit at all. To come to find out, Kayla is being manipulated by another woman that she worked for. I'm like, bro, these bitches in this show ain't no good for nothing. They good for getting rich, but also good for sending people to their damn death for money. Rough. And don't be mistaken, it's not a misogynist show. It's not. All these women doing things for their own reasons and for their own pocketbooks. But everybody else is just pawns. Weapons or tools to be used. And that's what you see if you look at the whole season. Alex in the show is the stand-up guy. Even Bobby Trey is a stand-up dude. Mo Sampson is a stand-up dude. Some of the other females in the show, Vega and stuff like that, other detectives and stuff, even the captain, even the chief of police, who was a whole bitch last season, she be standing on business. Like, oh no, well, I think I do rank some shit. You're not telling my staff what to do. Bro, some of them stand up. Now, I didn't like the ending of this season, but the rest of the season, up till episode 8, I was down with. I was completely down with that shit. The women in the shit looked beautiful. They wasn't trying to act like men. They were in charge of some stuff. Every character in that show has some development going on with them, even down to Bobby Trey, the supposed killer. Luz had the most. Kayla had the second most. But there was work going on with every character in that show. And it was good. Even the fucking kids. Good scenes all around. It was a good season of that show. So I have to talk about this with my brother and my mother because my brother was current. I didn't know my brother was watching this show. He current. My mother is kind of current. So the three of us gonna sit down and have a brain trust on it and see what we thought of the damn show. Because for them, I'm the only one who actually read some of the books. But they love the show. And I watched the interview with Aldous Hodge on the Pivot podcast. Shout out to them last week. And Aldous Hodge, for who he is as a person, he seems like more of me. He seems like me. It was funny as shit listening to him talk. He's a really deep brother, man. He's pretty deep and just straightforward. You sense that off of him when he's talking and stuff like that. It's not really a lot of bullshit. He's not an asshole, but he means what he says. Put it that way, and that comes across in that character. So great show. I wish it was getting more promotion. I really do wish it was getting more promotion, but you know, Black Male Lead, you hear more about War Machine or fucking Reacher than you hear about Cross. Because there's too many brown folks in it. I don't fucking know. But it's a good show. Give me 2 minutes. I need to run real quick to the front door to get my food. I'll be right back. Give me 2 minutes. All right. So, thank you for holding on for a second. Get my food from outside. I don't want the mosquitoes trying to eat my shit. Have not had breakfast yet, and it's almost lunchtime. So I needed to eat something and get some water and drop off some water. So that was Cross season 2. I would check it out if you are still in the vein that I am of watching good shows and not shit. Check out Cross. It's all out now. You can watch it all at the same time and just binge on it. It's a good show. It is a good show. I have questions about the ending. I didn't like the ending of this season, but the show wasn't that what happened in the ending was bad. It was that it was too rushed. it should have been like, what's his name in here? Killuminati was saying earlier. Excuse me. It should have been two separate episodes, at least 10 episodes instead of 8. It should have been maybe 10, just to finish that out without having to rush through all the rest of that shit. Because I'm telling you, you had a nice jog for most of the show, and then you get to that last episode, everything just jumping and cutting and jumping and cutting and jumping and cutting. It's like, what time frame is this? Like, what the fuck? It was a mess. It was a mess. Now, the other show that I decided to actually watch, and this part will hopefully, for God's sake, be brief. Can't believe I'm saying that, actually. Which was this show. Since there's only one episode out, it's going to be brief anyway, right? Which is Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Now, I think my boy JT is watching this show. Not sure, I haven't talked to him about it. I waited to watch this, not because I had any anticipation for it. I was kind of dreading it because I didn't like the way Season 1 went. Didn't really like that at all. So I was just waiting, personally. If it wasn't for finally logging back into Marvel Rivals, I wouldn't have had enough interest to sit down and watch what episodes had come out, and thankfully it was only one. So I just watched one episode and got back to it, because from watching first season, it seemed like two different groups of writers. The first couple of episodes were decent. Or no, the first couple of episodes were shit. The middle section was decent. I think I got it reversed. And then the last couple of episodes was like, oh, okay, whatever the fuck. But regardless of that, Bored Again was the moniker that I hung on this season, because that's exactly what I was. I was bored again. And so I was not really looking forward to Season 2. Wasn't looking forward to Season 2. I knew I was going to watch it, but I wasn't looking forward to it. I watched Season 2, Episode 1. Didn't record a review for it. Just watching it at home after I came from the gun show and everything else. So, putting in my new ceiling fan. It's playing on the TV. I'm just doing live shit and watching it. The episode wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad. It did interest me a bit. Excuse me. But at the same time, I'm still tentatively watching it. Like, okay, so where are we going with this shit? Where is this going? Now, it's funny that Matthew Lillard, I think is his name, the actor's name, is in both shows. He was in Cross, and he's in this Daredevil Born Again Season 2 as well, playing an equally irritating character. Right. So it was funny watching this episode of Daredevil Born Again and then going back and watching Cross, because I'm seeing the same dude playing two different roles. Right. Weird. At the same time, I thought, damn, this is a hell of a year for him. He in two shows. Right. Now, one of the things that is evident from this season of the show, outside of the fact that Daredevil gets to wear his black costume, which most people kind of like, is that they're trying to work Matt back to where they fucked up in Season 1. He back with Karen. He on the run from Fisk, trying to take Fisk down in some kind of way. And in the show, it tells you that it's been 6 months since the end of last season. It's been 6 months. So a lot of stuff has happened in 6 months, to the point where Karen and Matt are together. She's not in San Francisco no more. She's here. She didn't leave. She stayed. And Karen is doing some undercover type deep throat shit with BB Urick, passing off information to her, and BB Urick is doing some, you know, V for Vendetta type of bullshit where she's doing her normal podcasts and stuff like that for Fisk, but also doing these bootleg versions that actually give the real information to the people. So basically, they're fighting their own fight to try to break down Fisk's regime, as they say. No, not yet, Charles. I don't have a lot of time, and I need to get through this shit so I can get out of here and get to my next thing. So Matt is in a place to where, dare I say, he seems kind of happy. Right? He is going to take it to Fisk as much as he can. He doesn't have to worry about doing the lawyer thing because nobody knows where Matt Murdock is. Everybody thinks Daredevil's on the run from the vigilante task force. So he is basically on the lam, in the cut, fucking shit up. Which kind of works for him. I think he's happier this way because he's not balancing a bunch of stuff. He's also not overly processing Foggy's death, I don't think. Fisk is becoming irritated, but you're getting the idea in this first episode that Fisk is actually doing some work with the government. And the government is doing some shady shit in New York through his Freeport stuff, which gets into Matthew Iller's character coming along and, you know, being the spook in the room. Not the black dude, but the actual spook in the room. Bringing the Washington kind of button pushing down on Fisk. How that shit is going to work out is not going to be well. Not for Fisk, but for everybody else, because he's not going to tolerate that shit too long. Now, while the initial event, which is called Northern Star, is a container ship smuggling weapons through Fisk Freeport in Manhattan, Daredevil being aboard causes the captain to scuttle the ship. And of course, it's inside of the bay, so it doesn't sink all the way, which makes that really fucking stupid. Puts this, pressure cooker in a sense on Daredevil for Fisk to turn up the heat on him, and Daredevil to turn up the heat on Fisk to try to expose that he is not the person that everybody thinks he is, or most of New York believes he is, and that he's actually dirty. It's a long way around to say a lot of stuff didn't really happen. It was more set up in this first episode than anything else. 1 second. I got mine through here. That's flying through here and shit. Irritating. Yeah, half a ship sticking out of the water with a bunch of people asking questions. Yeah, that's not a covert operation at that point. Shit is gonna get on my nerves. I do have a little bug or something flying around in here. People asking questions, what's going on? But all of them are overly believing that Fisk will take care of everything. I saw very little of Vanessa, which I was happy with, because while I do think the actress is attractive, I didn't like Vanessa in the first season. I fucking hated her, and I wanted her killed. She's in this one. She's back. Whether her personality changes or not, we'll see. But I love Vanessa in the Netflix version. I fucking hated Vanessa in season 1 of Born Again. It remains to be seen what she gets this season from me. But I'm not looking forward to her ass at all. At all. Fisk running around being a mayor back in the white suit. Cool. But it's obvious you a kingpin. At that point, whatever. You're working with the government now. Let's see how this shakes out. Um, the anti-vigilante task force acting like the secret police and just being able to go around and bust into people's house and beat their ass. That's a lot. That is way far to be happening in America. This is not Siege, and I don't see Denzel Washington anywhere around. You're looking for vigilantes, but you can just roll up on anybody. That's going to have to stop, which makes me wonder, why is Daredevil not out in the streets taking on more of these people as opposed to sneaking aboard ships looking for what Fist's dirty doings is? Well, it's obvious what his dirty doing is, the anti-vigilante task force. Why don't you expose that more so than all this other paperwork shit? I don't know, but I'm not writing the show. I'm just watching it. So, like I said, thankfully, it was only one episode. I haven't had all those questions answered yet. So there is more to watch on that one. But for one episode, not a lot really happened. It's a lot of reestablishing stuff. It does seem like one of the interesting parts is Matt's girlfriend from last season, the therapist. It seems like this bitch is going crazy, and she's going to end up being the new Muse. That, I don't know, painted like Harley Quinn getting corrupted by the Joker, which is probably how they're going to play it. But she is checking out at moments. And she did do the little psychotic checklist and check off the fact that she does feel influenced by evil spirits. To me, that means she's going to end up turning into the Muse by the end of this shit. And she's going to be killing people and painting on walls and whatnot, because in some kind of way she was corrupted. Now, I don't know what part of the comic that shit is actually from. Maybe it's something they're just throwing in there to make her character interesting. I thought she was kind of hot in the first season. I liked her with Matt. They fucked up too. So when she started working for Fisk. So it's like, so what is she going to be? Typhoid Mary or something? I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know where they're going with this shit. But I will watch it to see what's going on. But yeah, Aquateca, she is going to become a problem. And yes, the anti-vigilante task force running around wearing the Punisher logo, like Marvel didn't want the military doing anymore. That's why they tried to change the Punisher logo. Like, oh, interesting. You throwing this in there too? Mm. That's how I was looking at it. Like, really kind of on the nose. They said that in the first season that he was the inspiration for them, but okay, whatever. He didn't approve of. And as far as I know, he was one of the first ones they locked up. So I guess we'll see how that shakes out. Like I said, it's just one episode. Not a lot actually happened. It was just establishing where everything was, where all the pieces were, their starting positions. The ending stinger was kind of funny in the sense that one of your male characters is probably out of there, or your black male characters is out of there. But Daredevil is saved by somebody who should not be saving him, which is Bullseye. Taking out some of the anti-vigilante task force and leaving a calling card, which was actually cool the way he put it there, to let them know that I did it. You owe me. Okay. Let's see what happens. Like I said, I'm yawning right now because I'm cold. It was warm as hell yesterday. Now it's cold. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, with the bullseye symbol on it. Like, okay. It wasn't anything really to grab me, but okay, he got the costume and we back to showing, the bone breaking and shit, which is, I told y'all last season, if That's all you got to show me. You don't have a story. I'm down for the fight scenes. That's what I expect from Daredevil, live action on a series. But you're gonna have to show me some damn story. You're not jazzing me and getting me to, clap my hands like a circus seal because you broke a bone on screen. I don't give a fuck. I've seen that everywhere. There's a new movie out. What is it called? Tormented or whatever it is, with the dudes from the Raid. That's supposed to be the best action movie. They breaking bones all through that bitch. I'll be more interested in seeing that. But you're gonna have to bring it with the story in season 2 of this show for me. You are not getting me with the bells and whistles, costumes, none of that shit. You need to bring the story for real, because I'm about checked out on this series since Marvel had it, and that wasn't changed in one episode. So you're gonna have to show me a lot before I'm giving any sign off on this shit. And it ain't gonna be, oh look, he kicked this dude's ass. I don't give a shit. Daredevil kicks a lot of ass every night. So I can be bored again season 2, or you can actually give me a good damn story to make me sit up here and say, man, y'all should be checking this out. It remains to be seen which one I'm going to get. But I'm expecting it's the latter, or the former, not the latter. It doesn't have Daredevil comic book stories are some cool shit that they can work on, but that's not what the hell it is that they're doing necessarily, because they want to go through this whole anti-vigilante and more of this TDS that these motherfuckers keep having because they can't get away from it. That's why I wasn't that damn interested in the illegal angle in Cross, one battle after another. Look, man, you guys keep hitting on the same damn drum. You don't like the goddamn president. I don't give a fuck. Tell me a decent story. You cannot like them tomorrow. But don't think everybody needs to be in the same boat with you. Jesus Christ. It's ruining creative work. Y'all more focused on him than his own wife. Jesus. And it's just souring and fucking up everything. I'm sick of seeing it. Not because you may not have a point, not because I may not agree, just because I'm sick of fucking seeing it so much. Get to the creativity, please. I'm sick of y'all political messaging. You were not my goddamn leaders. I did not elect you to be any kind of leader. I may not have elected his ass either. But goddamn it, he doing his job. Why don't you try doing yours? And yours isn't to talk to me about fucking politics. Sick of that shit. When the ship's first mate, he's going to have to get killed, or he's going to have to be used as bait to get Matt into another fight. Story writing 101, right? Yeah, they don't. Kaluma, you're right, they don't. Look, the other genius thought I was having this week was about why these modern writers can't give you anything outside of activism and politics. Activism and their genitalia, because they don't know anything. They don't have any life experience. That was the other question I asked this week on the artisanmc stream. Do modern writers need to go into military service? Because it seems like all the people who had military service are the ones who created some of these franchises that are good, like Daredevil, Stan Lee, ex-military, Gene Roddenberry, ex-military, Frank Capra, ex-military, Dr. Seuss, ex-military. George R. Tolkien, ex-military, actually has some life experience, actually have dealt with things up close and personal, actually dealt with some kind of diversity or the lack thereof, and can talk about these subjects. These modern writers wouldn't serve in the military, wouldn't be on your police force, probably wouldn't be your school crossing guard. But they want to activist to you about all the rest of this shit. Look, man, you got no skin in this goddamn game. So all you can talk about is what cause you think everybody else needs to fight. And sexuality diversity. Like everybody needs to know how you want to get down. When that is all open and free to do anyway. If you take away those two things, modern writers can't write shit. And barely write those two. What the fuck? Modern writers say they live in an echo chamber and think everybody should like or one demographic like. Exactly. They are bubble kids. Raised in the bubble, talking the bubble. Everybody's supposed to be part of the collective. Everything about your country is terrible. Except for the fact it gives them the ability to stand there and talk the shit they talk. Excuse me. Dumb. That's why you're not supposed to eat on the street. Because they don't want somebody choking to death on camera. I am hungry. I have a slight headache from not eating. So that's where I am on Daredevil, Born Again Season 2. I'm watching it. I watched the first episode. It was nothing to write home about. I wasn't overly excited. It didn't excite me. It didn't just make me think, oh, I need to watch the next episode. No, I'll just be watching the next episode because it's the next episode. Will I do it on Patreon? I'm not sure. I think I may have to because I might have done the first season on Patreon. But that would be the only reason. If I hadn't did the first season on Patreon, I probably wouldn't be doing the second one. So you people who watch on Patreon, sorry. The fuck it is. Look, some shows need to be watched. Some shows don't. I'll wait and see what's happening with Daredevil Season 2. I want it to be better. Make no mistake about it. I want it to be better. But that first season really did leave a bad taste in my mouth. And I'm like, you're probably going to give me more of the same bullshit again. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's better, but I'm not holding out a lot of hope. Oh, what's the other thing I didn't like? Karen Page doing the wooden dummy technique. Huh? After 6 months, get the fuck out of here. She is not a fighter. But whatever, you want her to get her ass out there and get her ass kicked, go right ahead. But if she get out there and start night nursing motherfuckers, kicking people ass, trained fighters, because for 6 months Daredevil been training her a little bit on how to fight, get the fuck out of here. I'm not for it, dude. That's gonna be dumb as fuck. It's going to be dumb as hell. And all the cameos in the world is not going to make up for that. Excuse me. But I guess we'll see, won't we? Now, the other show that had actually been pretty good, but the last episode I saw did have some questionable messaging for me. But did give me a moment to where I was actually looking forward to the next episode. Is this little number right here. Invincible Season 4. Now, as I told you before, I never read the comic. I know about the comic. I've sold the comic. Remember when it came out. I never really read the comic. So, a lot of Mark Grayson's journey in this comic is coming to me through the television show. I've gone back and bought some of the comics to read some of the stuff, but I'm not caught up to where the show is. Last season, I enjoyed, but I was a little irritated with Mark because he just keeps being a little bitch about things. And last season, I finally saw him nutting the hell up and trying to actually just go bad on somebody just because Adam Eve got killed. And even still, she still came back and saved herself. Now, my thing is, I'm waiting for Mark to get it through his thick fucking invincible skull that he is going to have to go harder. And one of the things I get from watching this show is I really need a power scaling. And the reason I really need a power scaling to understand how strong all these things are that Mark is fighting is because everything makes him fucking bleed. How do you bleed so much and you're supposed to be invincible? It seems like a misnomer. You're not invincible. You're very invincible. You bleed every fight you're in. It doesn't matter what you're fighting, which means I have no power scaling on any of these things. None of them. It's like the character is getting over from bleeding all the time. Bro, even Superman, at base Superman, if Superman is in a fight with some people, he might not even take any damage. His costume might not even get fucked up. But when he's in a fight with Darkseid, you see his nose bleeding, you understand immediately the difference between Lex Luthor trying to beat his ass in a suit or Darkseid kicking his ass with them hands. You understand the difference right off the bat. Like, oh, he bleeding. This is a serious fight. Mark bleeds in every fight. Everyone. They can cut his skin. They can slash him. Every fight. It makes it really difficult for me to make me believe that he is the strongest superhero on this planet when he bleeds more than everybody else on the show. Like, fuck, he's constantly bleeding. That's the part that's bothering me. As far as the show, it's interesting. Right? I like the character. I like the show. My favorite episode so far, though, has been, what are they on? 5 episodes now? I think it was. I watched the whole thing. The most interesting episode to me so far has been the episode with Nolan and what's his name? Al? Marvin? Whatever the fucking alien is. Right? Yeah, I think Wonder Woman could take out all the Viltrumites. Apparently, seems like they bleed pretty easy. Even Wonder Woman or Zealot from the Wildcats, the two of them bitches will have a field day. No. Wonder Woman, Zealot, Nebula, Gamora, and Angela. I think they'd take care of the Viltrumites pretty well. I think they would. They'd definitely walk through Mark's little ass. His biggest hang up right now, even as a teenager who's been doing this for a couple of years, is not killing people. While the people he's fighting against kill people wholesale. Kill people wholesale. Don't have a problem killing anybody. And the only people he nut up to want to kill somebody for is a couple of the women in his life. His mama or his girlfriend. Both who have been killed by people. Now, I understand the dilemma between wanting to find another way and that killing people makes you more into the villain than the hero. But throughout this show, Mark has had to kill people. And like one of the characters in the show tells him, the fact that you agonizing over this shit after the fact proves that you're not like your father and you're actually a decent person. Well, it does. What he doesn't know is his dad does agonize over that shit. He does. Alan the Alien, that's the damn dude's name. So Mark's little whiny boy mode about this shit is on my fucking nerves. Because he's been with his father to see that his father has changed. Yeah, he had another kid with an alien, with an insectoid chick. So what? But you saw your father damn near died trying to protect people. And he's changed. So you going back and forth, well, oh, it makes me like dad and whatever. Bruh, would you get over this shit? The planet is over it already. You the only one still carrying that shit around. It's going to make me like my dad. You actually were just with your dad. You know that your dad has changed. Explained it to you a bit. Killed other Viltrumites. Trying to protect your ass. But you still carrying this shit like, it's just simple. He's just such an evil man. Man, come on. Get over yourself. Invincible. But regardless of that, my favorite episode so far has been the episode with Nolan and Alan the Alien, where they're going around and trying to gather these items that can actually hurt Viltrumites. Apparently, there's a lot of little things that can actually hurt or kill Viltrumites. Now, the beginning of this episode, which is the one that got it really back on my radar to make sure I watched because people were spoiling it in their thumbnails and shit, was you get to see Nolan when he was on Viltrumite or Viltrum, and what it looked like to see the Viltrumite civilization before you found out in the last season there's only about 50 of them left. From what? How pray tell? Well, you get to see Viltrum, and you get to see how they were. Brutal women, children, men. Everybody could fly. But you see that somebody drops a virus on their fucking planet. And how they deal with that shit. And basically, it kills like billions of them. They get brought to the point of damn near extinction. Because of the shit they've been doing out in the universe, somebody tried to take their ass out. Now, it's traumatic. But you see what the life was before that when you get to see a young Nolan out there training younger cadets. And on his adulthood day, two Viltrumites show up and probably start beating the fuck out of him. And it's his mother and father beating the shit out of him because weakness will not be tolerated in a dojo. Not on the Viltrum homeworld. Oh, no, that's not a thing they do. And it made me really think that the Viltrumites are pretty much like those early years of the Sith. They're stomping out weakness, bro. If you can be taken out, then you should have been taken out. They don't have no problem taking out the trash. If you were weak, you were out of there. Which means Mark bitch ass wouldn't have made it. He would have got killed and been gone a long time ago. You see that they don't all like that way of life, but it is their way of life. And certain things need to be done, like your parents showing up and kicking the shit out of you on your adulthood day to see if you get to go off to, be an actual cadet or you died that day. Yeah, Charles, happy 18th birthday. Put your dukes. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Yeah, that was like my brother when he turned, 1821. He a man, and he wanted to come in the room and wrestle with me. Funny as fuck. But on Viltrum, that shit is serious. Now, they make sure to show you that the Viltrumites, for all the white that they wear, they're actually pretty evil. And how they go about things. That they saw it as their right to rule the galaxy, to bring that strength to everybody else. And it made them seem more Nazi-like than I would like. But it also makes me interested in people who overly praise the Viltrumites, want to be Viltrumites. Like Charles in here, you know what I'm getting at. They're not your white saviors, but they're the strongest motherfuckers around. So it made me curious, like, what do black folks really idolize about Viltrumites? The strength, the power, or the brutality? Because from reading the comic and shit, these motherfuckers ain't about shit. They're not about shit. Omni-Man is not cool because he has a bunch of redeeming qualities. Most people like Omni-Man because he killed a lot of motherfuckers. Beat his son to the edge of death. So it really makes me wonder. Now, there's a point that I'm making to why the Viltrumites are wearing white. And you get to it later in the season when you have Mark going to hell and meeting the demons and shit. I'll make that parallel in a minute. I'll make it now. Fuck it. I ain't got a lot of time. The questionable messaging I saw in this season so far was when Mark had to go to hell. Damien Darkblood summons him to hell to help him against this greater evil called Volcania. It actually looks like a character design from one of my characters. You don't use it, you lose it. And while in hell, Mark is introduced to Satan and gets to find out that the story that humans have been told on the surface world about hell is not true. About hell and the demons is not true. That hell is real, Satan is real, but Satan is here keeping the vial at bay. Because throughout the different eras of Earth, there have been some bigger creatures looming and roaming around. Titans, whatever the fuck you want to call them. And Satan is the one that keeps them all at bay from getting up and destroying the earth, because he keeps them in the suffering pit where they are tortured and kept there and cannot leave, because the demons are protecting the upper world with their torment of the vial. And it comes a point in the show where Mark asked Damien Darkblood about, well, hell is real and demons are real, and that Satan is not what we were taught. But he asked him, well, is heaven real? He said, oh, that'll just be ridiculous. And I'm like, no, heaven is real. You know why? Because heaven is supposed to be the Viltrum Empire, where all those people that fly around and wear white and all the rest of that shit are actually evil as fuck. And all the people that live below and deal with the fire and the muck and the soot and the suffering and the torment and the pain and all that shit is actually decent people. They're doing it for everybody else. Now, it's played for some yucks in it, and they don't say that heaven is real. The demon says that heaven is not real. Human beings made it up. I say heaven is real because the demons exist, and the demons don't want to believe in it. They believe in their world. And that's what Viltrum is supposed to be, without saying it outright. It's supposed to be heaven. Big gleaming cities with everybody wearing white and flying around and shit like that. The only thing they don't have is wings. That's heaven. And then them motherfuckers got killed off by the billions. Yeah, Viltrum does bring utopia to some places. They stop wars and stuff like that in some other places. In a few places, they just wipe the fuck out. Because the only thing that stopped two people from fighting is overwhelming force from a third party. If you can kick both their asses, then they might stop fighting each other. You know, the responsibility, like Charles is saying, the responsibility of strength. Strength is a responsibility, not a gift or a right. Viltrumites saw strength as their right. And their right was to enforce that on everybody else in the galaxy. That's why they went to other worlds and either wiped their ass out or took charge. Because strength was a right. That's why I'm not sure why anybody actually champions Viltrumites in this shit. I don't get it. Now, the question of messaging is, you're supposed to understand Satan's side of the story and believe him. He's actually decent. He's looking out for human beings. The people that come from space in the heavens, which the demons don't believe in aliens, which doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, are the ones you need to be watching out for. The ones that come from way up high, not the ones that come from way down low. Okay, questionable. Now, the whole thing with Adam Eve's powers being on Fritz and not working correctly, turns out she's pregnant. If you read the comments, you understand that Mark and Eve have a baby at some point. I can't remember what the baby looks like or if it has powers or not. But my thinking would have been if Aegis got beat to death in last season and her powers came back stronger than ever without the mental blocks like the Phoenix, I would have thought she was pregnant or something else. That would have been one of my first guesses. Yeah, the devil never came from hell. I told that to a religious person before. I asked her, I said, "You are the devil." I was like, "I'm not the devil. The devil was an angel. You know that, right? And not only an angel, he was the first angel. So who knows the Bible better than him?" No, motherfucker, don't get it twisted. He had a halo at one time. That's why he's a fallen angel. Stop tripping. Forgot my point. Anyway, oh, baby. I think this is the baby she aborts. The second time she gets pregnant, she keeps it. It's a girl. Of course, because they keep girls. They throw boys away, just like on Themyscira in the real world. That's why in the cross show, Ellie is really interested in Janelle, but she don't give a fuck about Alex's son. But she do want to spend a lot of time with the girl. Say the girls, fuck the boys. Sense the theme here? I always saw Viltrum as the Roman Empire. They saw themselves as saviors and superior, but in truth, they were twisted people that ended up destroying themselves. Exactly, which is why I asked the question. Why do people really champion the Viltrumites? These are comic fans. They see themselves as Viltrumites. What? These ain't good people, bro. Like, I like the boys. I think Homelander is a good character. You would never see me thinking I'm Homelander. Homelander is a piece of shit. A petty child with the powers of a fucking god who run amok when he fucking feel like it. I don't get into the white saviors. I don't get behind the super powerful white boys. I really don't. That is not my shit. There's nothing I aspire to. So watching this season of Invincible, I was thinking about that shit. Yeah, so there's some black Viltrumites. Ain't a lot of them, is it? You saw one with braids and everything, just dying off. He wasn't doing nothing cool, was he? People do have a sick obsession with power. I was talking about this with a guy at the gun show yesterday. It's not the power that corrupts people. People were already corrupt. Power just gives them the ability to do it on a bigger scale. It was probably better if you were broke, because then you would affect less people. So, anyway, watching this season so far with Invincible has been interesting. Seeing the journey that Nolan has gone through and how he figures out who Thaddeus is and finds out that I figured out he was the one who poisoned Viltrumite. He was the one designed the poison that killed a billion or so more billions of Viltrumites and brought their race to extinction. And Nolan standing on business saying, I'm not helping you fight your fucking war. I'm looking for these things that'll stop Viltrumites, yeah, but I'm not fighting your war with you. He ain't down with all that shit. Because Nolan was there disposing of the bodies of the people who got on Viltrumite who got killed. He knows what it looks like. He's seen it up close and personal. He is not down for that shit a second time. And really struggling with the fact that he's helping them do something that will make his race extinct. Flat out. That's some drama. He knows they need to be stopped, but he may not be with killing all of them off, including his father and his mother, probably. So the story with Nolan is what's most interesting to me. I do want to see what happens with Eve and this baby because I don't know anything about her aborting the baby. So whoever just told me that shit just spoiled it for me. Because like I said in the beginning, I haven't read the comic. Charles. I don't know anything about it. So I was still wondering what was going to happen with this child situation with her and Mark because she's sitting on that shit and not wanting to say anything to her, to Mark about it, which that should be the first person you fucking tell. The dude you fucking that you think you're going to be pregnant by is the first person you had that conversation with, not everybody else on the periphery. You talk to him. Just from experience, I'll tell you that. It's better to talk to him first. You can talk to everybody else later, but they wasn't in the bedroom making the shit with you, so they shouldn't be the first ones to find out about it. That's part of that collective shit. Am I going to be okay? Everybody going to be there for me? You'll figure that shit out after the fact. You need to talk to the person you was fucking first. Possibly. So the stuff with Eve is interesting, but the stuff with Nolan is the most interesting to me. It is the most interesting to me. I want to see how we square that circle because if Alex Cross couldn't get a break in his season, Mark ain't getting a break in his season either. It's one thing after another with him. One thing after another. You went from a fight where you damn near lose your life. You come back, something's going on with your girlfriend. You don't know what that is. You got to talk with Cecil. You don't know what the fuck is up with him necessarily. Your brother kind of irritating you right now. You trying to get a moment out of peace, like, oh, mom's going to move in with this dude, and she's selling her house. Why sell the house? Your boy got his own business. Mark has his own business that they make money from. Why don't you just move out and move in with your boyfriend and leave the house to Mark and forgetting his brother's name. Leave it to them. Him and Eve can move in together, take over the house. Oliver will be there. Oliver. And then they can pay off the house because they had invincible ink. You didn't need to sell shit. You didn't need to give up the generational wealth you could start building. No. You can start with one piece of property. You just move in with your boyfriend. And Eve move in with hers. And then the house Mark grew up in and Oliver has been growing up in doesn't have to go up on the market. Stupid asses. You got to sell the house because Stan wants me to move in with him. Move in with Stan. Fuck do we care? We damn near grown. There's a place for you and Oliver. Me and Oliver, I got a whole woman I'm fucking. And the world I'm protecting. I don't need to be living with you and your boyfriend. I'm gonna stay here. Y'all, you can move out. Dumb. So that's more interesting. Mark being a sad sack is not interesting to me. I told y'all last season, I'm about over that shit. He gonna have to get the hell over it. Now, when the Sequids showed up on Earth, that shit went a little bit quick for me. I would have liked that stretched out to a season or two, but not a season or two, but an episode or two. But Mark killing Russ at the end of that, I didn't give a shit. Why not? Because them Sequids was going to take over everything. Rex 2 bitching about he could have did this, he could have waited another second, the shield would have held on. Man, shut the hell up. You was about to get your ass turned into one of them Sequids, which would have been a real problem because they would have had all the information you guys locked up in your little ass head. No, that was the way that was going to go. That was it. Russ had been dead. Been dead. Yeah. Sometimes you are. And he did. Even Superman might kill somebody. Given the situation. Fucking Bob. It's just what it is. He's not killing every person he run up on. But given the situation, hey, Russ, them Sequids, that wasn't even Russ. That was Sequid. Was a damn problem. So I need Mark to get over that shit a little bit. Now, Cecil's dumb move of keeping Conquest and him escaping, that shocked me for a minute because I was like, God damn, that motherfucker strong as shit. He sunk the whole base to get free. With one arm. You fucked up now. A naked ball of Viltrumite flying out in space. Like, shit. Glad that motherfucker left. Mark ain't gonna be up to the challenge. Because don't think he coming back to play nice. Don't think that at all. He coming back with reinforcements to dominate, nigga. Not just teach you a lesson. And I can tell you now, it's just going to be a lot more bleeding on Mark's behalf. Which is what this show does not show me. They say he's gotten stronger. I don't see it. His name's Invincible. I do not see it. You need some kind of power scaling in this shit. It is really hard to really get how badly these fights are going or how much better he's gotten when there is no real indication of that because he bleeds for every fight. Every fight. Even with human things. Yeah, I don't get it. So, but so far, the show has had me interested. I'm interested in the stories that's going on with the characters. All of the characters are getting a little bit of shine. And I'm fine with that. It's interesting. Mark should be finding out that he's about to be a father, or at least that Eve is pregnant, is blown over because his father shows back up with Alan the alien. Say, hey, when you thought like, oh shit, yeah, that's exactly what I would have said. Like, oh, the world is gonna love this. Not a year ago, they were dealing with a bunch of marks flying around. Now, Omni Man himself is showed back up, and they don't know shit about his personality shift. This should really be interesting. This is like Jaime Lannister coming back to King's Landing after he got his hand cut off. This should be really interesting. I remember the asshole you were when you left here. What journey have you been on? I don't know, but I'm interested to see that episode. I'm very interested to see that episode because that's going to be some. Him and Dad going to have a meeting of the fist first. I think Nolan going to have to humble him a little bit to get him to open his goddamn ears and listen. Because Martin just been on a tear like he ready to beat the shit out of everybody. We'll see. Now, I will say, I liked how they revealed Thrag in this. That it was the slow reveal, but I'm not sure if they got the voice right. I was expecting somebody with a deeper voice. I just was. I was just expecting somebody with a deeper voice, more resonance. They gave him that voice to sound like he should have been on Battle of the Planets or something like that. Like he worked for the Galactor. Like this, they sound like a sweetie pie. Are they trying to go with the actual Freddie Mercury voice or what? Because I think he would sound a lot more masculine than that. But what do I know? I'm just an old geek. But I like the slow reveal that you didn't see him at first. You saw the throne, but you didn't see him at first. Then you saw the throne and the figure sitting in the throne, but you still didn't see his face. You heard his voice, but you didn't see him. Then eventually you finally get the full pan and they show him, in all his glory, and it don't look like much. It just looks like another version of Nolan with the mane on his back. Cool. Now, power scaling wise, if this show had one, you would understand that Thrag is probably the strongest Viltrumite. The strongest. That the person that Conquest is bowing to and actually kind of afraid of is the strongest Viltrumite. How you would understand that is completely oblivious to me. Outside of the fact that he is the ruler, which means he probably should be the strongest. But there's nowhere to gauge that. Your show needs some power scaling. Because I can tell you this. If Thrag hits Mark and Mark bleeds, it don't mean shit because the fucking chick hit Mark and he bleed. The fucking dragon back on the planet hit Mark and he bleed. I don't know where the scaling is on this shit. I don't. Is it going to be judged by how much damage he does with one punch? Did he break his whole fucking face? Or what? It's off. So, I guess we'll see when it happens. But, there's some shit out there in the world, especially in the Ragnars, that can level the goddamn playing field really easily with the fucking Viltrumites. If anything, they need to take Mark to that planet and let him train in that heavy gravity like Vegeta in the Capsule Corp gravity room. 15 times Earth gravity. Get your strength up. You need to take his ass there and just chain him down or something. Let him keep working at it. But otherwise, he's going to get his ass beat like he always do. And then pull out some lucky Daniel LaRusso win. But I guess we'll see. I guess it'll make it an interesting show to watch. So that's it. That was my impression of Invincible season 4. I will be looking forward to watching the rest of the show. It won't be on Patreon, but I will talk about it on here because I haven't done reviews for any season of Invincible. It's a fun watch, so I just watch it because I enjoy watching it. But I will be interested to see the new episode this week. I can tell you that much. So the 3 shows I'm watching: Invincible crosses over, Born Again has started, Invincible has started and been going. I'm interested to watch 2 of them. I don't have a third show right now, but I can catch up on some other stuff before this next wave of movies and whatnot come out. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. It is a shorter stream. I do have a headache, and I do need to eat this food so I can alleviate my headache before I have to go to league. So I'm going to thank you guys for coming through here today, even with a late show. Appreciate that. And I didn't put any of this other stuff up, did I? There we go. There we go. There we go. Get out of here with some 90s class. Yeah, it does mean my spider sense is kicking in to eat. To eat my food and not choke on camera. So appreciate you guys for coming through, and I will see you guys next time. This has been The Hero's Journey. I do this every Sunday, usually at 8 a.m. We talk about geekdom, life, and everything in between. I've been artisanmc. I'll see you next time. Peace.